does have it. Like for the next fight, if they want to go with like Toby's buyback, he can be the one who goes in and uses Solar Guardian after he dies, so they can take a fight anywhere. It's still on cooldown for a really long time, but most importantly, they got buyback out of Medusa, and your Naga Siren still has it available, sitting on 8,000 gold. Has Moonshard as well. He picked up Aghanim Scepter from Roshan. Maybe he could have gave it to someone else, because he, like, what is he gonna do with the gold? He can swap one more item, but that's about it, save for the buyback.
So, pushing down mid, OG, I think, feeling this moment that they need to go, knowing that Toby doesn't have buyback. Still tough to break these racks, break these buildings, and win these fights, despite the fact that they don't have a Dawnbreaker.
They're going all in. They want to force something. Silencer is out in 5 seconds. 35 seconds until Dawnbreaker with no buyback whatsoever. Others do have it. Still gonna respect it.
Using that ninja gear, and now they'll leave. So, OG get the set of racks over mid, but they're down to 1 tier 4, and the top set of racks of their own. No Aegis, though. We'll see how willing Quest are to go, even though they've got this big lead.
Toby gets the shard from Tormentor, so that's going to be his free BKB. Level 25 as well, so with the Starbreaker cooldown, that's pretty massive.
They are grouped up on the side of Quest, drawing some lines to go through top. EZM picking up that Wisdom Rune. He's trying to get to level 25. Let's see. I mean, I don't think that Quest are going to wait for the next Roche. They definitely have the advantage here with everybody up and the Global Silence available.
They want to use this opportunity before Medusa has buyback. It is an elimination game. It is a best of 3. This is the first game. I think you can risk it a little bit and go take these last set of barracks. Maybe if it means that you have to use 1 buyback, they're still going to be playing against Mega Creeps. Any big 25s coming up? They already have on Medusa, Storm Spirit, getting closer and closer to it. Going for Refresher next. That's an interesting one. Double pull into Medusa's overwhelming damage. Could make the difference. Look at Omar. He's drawing on a minimap. Knows exactly where they are.
So, fully smoked. Maybe waiting for somebody to show. Could be Yuragi if he's not too careful. They're thinking about the Rolling Thunder. They do have the overwhelming blink. Jump on him. They do a good job of clearing up these creeps and these illusions, so it's not so easy to just jump the high ground, but now they go into the Rolling Thunder. They'll go to the overwhelming blink right on top of them. Solar Guardian as well as the Telekinesis. They've got the swap coming out from Kid Trek. That's the BKB as well as the Ball Lightning and the Vortex to try and pull in these heroes. Damage from Yuragi. Is it going to be enough? They've got the duel. They get the swap
from Omar.
Oh, the stolen swap from Omar. That's going to get another save. That's not just the first time he's done that. They've got the song. It's on all 5. Now they're going to try and fight this. The disarm. It's onto the Medusa, so not doing enough damage, but they've got themselves the stun onto TA2000. Now there's another swap coming in. Toby's going to end up dead. He doesn't have buyback. They get the kill here on a Kid Track. He doesn't have buyback either. Noob with the roll up, taking some damage
He's
here. They need to
low.
be careful. Yuragi's got enough to get the kill on a Noob.
This is anyone's game to take. Like, the advantage that they have, this like 17,000 that is showing on the top, doesn't really matter that much. It's like how you're going to execute the fights. Toby will have buyback available in 10 seconds. If Toby had buyback, I think they commit to a fight, knowing that Vengeful Spirit is not there. Sure, there is Kopi, there is this Vengeful Spirit clone. But maybe wait for next Roche. It could respawn in 30 seconds. TA2000 sending out illusions in the top lane, dealing some unhealable damage to the range barracks. DD top as well. It just spawned.
So, losing 2 heroes there, proving that now, you know, the high ground is not so easy to break. OG stand their ground, but Omar again with another important swap, stone swap, to save Toby initially.
See, Roshan, 1 minute, will be on Radiant side. BZM holding the gem and also holding the Refresher Orb now, level 25. So there's going to be a lot of bounces coming out from him, has Shard as well. That's a good way to deal with the Naga Siren and the illusions, but double pull, this could make the difference. It's like 5+, almost 6 seconds pull if you use both of them.
Getting to 53 minutes. Might get the tier 5 items if this game goes long enough, but Roche available in 15 seconds. Yet another Aegis available in this game. And like you said earlier, it does feel like anybody's game.
Omar still holding onto that swap. Let's see, Dodo plus win probability 64% for Quest Esports.
Into Roche. Noob's there.
TA2000 still sending out illusions to the top lane. They'll finish off the range barracks.
Now they've got this Boots of Travel 2 in, and they've got everybody here to take this Roche.
Stormspirit in the base, but he can't be recalled by Keeper of the Light.
The Noob's got himself an Aegis.
Dawnbreaker, Aghanim Scepter. This is also massive. We've seen the power of it yesterday when Alliance played against OG. Having Ags like gives you 60% evasion. It's really effective against other heroes. Against Medusa, not as much, but you can also like decide where to land. It's massive.
Now with that buyback, having that cheese, definitely going to make this fight way more Quest favored. The Illusion's just a pain, and they've only got one building left.
That is definition of pain.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though Quest does have Aegis and Cheese available now, OG, they are the ones pushing the high ground. Swap in the middle of the team.
They've got themselves to go. They've got themselves to Medusa in the front line. There's the counter swap, but the Rolling Thunder's going to stick with him. They get the kill in a Kid Track. They're going to look because they've got the Will-Wisp, the newly built Axe for Zeb. They go in with the Ball Lightning as well as the Vortex. They've got themselves the Refresher. They get the kill there under the Naga Siren as well as Toby. They're going to get themselves the buybacks out of 3. Whoa, my. OG. Looking like they might be able to do it. The damage again on Omar. Triple kill for Yuragi. Now they find Kid Track. There's the swap. They've got the Hex onto the Medusa. Lotus Orb, no mana, no life. They'll take him out. He's got buyback as well. They'll chase down this illusion.
They need to catch more. There is Storm Spirit.
Ogre Seal Totem.
Lotus Orb available on Zeb. Did he get it?
Up. Oh my god, the damage so quickly. They take out BZM. They're even looking for Zeb. They've got the telekinesis, and they will catch themselves another. It looks so good for OG to start, but a good cleanup for Quest after the buybacks.
Yeah, this Aghanim Scepter, Storm Spirit with Refresher, level 20 talent, Timeless Relic. He pulled them in for a good almost 6 seconds, and then Medusa just right-click, stands her ground. They need to use the buyback. Medusa does have it. 80 seconds. They can finish off the game. Whoever wins the next fight pretty much wins the game. OG using the buyback, using the glyph. They do have buybacks available on both cores.
Kid Track. Will-Wisp, buybacks used, Ball Lightning, Vortex, and now can they get the kill on the Naga Siren? TA2000 slept up again thanks to the Will-Wisp. They've got the BKBs. They're trying to chase Ball Lightning in. They've got themselves the Rolling Thunder. Stone Gaze, the damage. It's on a noob, but it's not going to be enough. They're starting to retreat. They look over at Toby. He's able to TP out. All the buybacks used there by OG, and they only get themselves a silencer.
So they disengage properly. This could have been a disaster. You can feel that OG, they feel much stronger fighting inside their base where they can like reset the Refresher Orb on cooldown for 60 seconds. Next Roshan is not gonna be there. I mean, there's still Aegis on on Pango, but he managed to disengage. So let's see, whoever wins the next fight. There are no buybacks in the game. There's one on Legion Commander, one on Pango. Pango sitting at 9,000 gold. Thinking about picking up Shiva's Guard, running out of slots.
Will do nicely.
Yeah, it was Shiva's Guard, and I believe Abyssal was being thought about as well. So 20,000 net worth lead, no silencer, no
Dyer's ancient.
global available. So nobody pushing out just yet in terms of looking to go to the high ground. EZM nearby. I mean, Omar, he is close, but they won't sense him just yet. They won't catch him.
Keeper of the Light.
Surprisingly, in a game like this, only 122 duel damage.
Yeah, there was, like we did mention that there might struggle with dealing damage early on. He started off great.
Is under attack.
Early on, 7 minutes first duel, but then they didn't have enough luck. He doesn't have a hero to play with other than Storm Spirit, and Storm Spirit felt kind of intimidated by the global silence. Refresher Orb is available. Keeper of the Light, level 25 talent also available. 1.2 seconds, Blinding Light stun. What Timeless Relic?
Tower has fallen.
That goes up to 1.5 seconds.
Looking to use the Timeless Relic and the Quickening Charm to have the Will-O-Wisps down as much as possible. And the Aegis expires, so we might be waiting for another one. We're going to be definitely waiting for the tier 5s to see if we can get something that's going to overpower one or the other side.
There's this window where Quest can take a fight, because your Naga Siren's buyback is going to come a minute and 20 seconds before Medusa's, if they have like the exact timing on it, but also tier 5 items in 30 seconds. So let's see if they stack the Ancients. Prepare for it.
Tormentor taken. Dori gets his shard finally. With his 14 permanent intelligence stolen.
Yeah, very important shard at this stage of the game.
Tier 5s are available.
They did stack the Ancients. Who's getting the first tier 5 item? Tier 5 token, there it is. There's one available on Pango. Let's see what he decides to go for.
Force boots for Naga Siren. DM's also got one. Ex Machina for Toby. Mirror Shield for the Legion Commander.
Oh, this is a big one. Like, Ex Machina still feels like the best out of all tier 5 items. You know what I miss? Ballista. Ballista Sniper.
I thought you were going to say something cool. You said something super toxic.
It's going to be Arcanist Armor, so Force Field Aura grants 40% damage reflection for 5 seconds. At this stage of the game, against Medusa, this might be the pickup. Rubik, what does he have? Book of the Shadows, so that's pretty neat. Silencer, also another Book of Shadows, so that's going to grant you like second life. Dawnbreaker, we already mentioned. Ex Machina, which will grant him double Heaven's Halberd, double Abyssal Blade. The 2000 having boots, which means that he can get rid of his boots of travel, and finally picks up something to deal with this evasion from Medusa. Bloodthorn is now available, and an OG. Keeper of the Light still doesn't have anything. Mirror Shield on Legion Commander. Medusa with the Force Boots. Searstone on Vengeful Spirit, and Ex Machina on Storm. Unfortunately, Ex Machina doesn't work on Refresher Orb, but it does work on your BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
19 seconds potentially remaining on Roche. Let's see.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
As Yuragi's the one defending the base. So Roche will be extended by a minute 20. So a minute 20 remaining on the next Roche. but it hasn't felt like the Aegis has been enough to finish these games.
And it seems like at this point, Aegis doesn't really matter.
Are scanning.
Buyback available in 50 seconds, 2 minutes for Medusa.
Dire's ancient.
I think they should go. I think it's time to go and try to use this opportunity where Medusa doesn't have buyback. Your Naga Siren comes with bots too. She tanks most of the damage. And you also have buyback available on your Dawnbreaker in 30 seconds. So gonna come slightly faster. Storm and Medusa, same timing on their buybacks.
They're setting up for Roche on the side of Quest. They were able to take the last Aegis. As OG, now they smoke. They should be here in time. Are they walking into a trap as Quest are kind of forward? They've got the Hex. It's going to be on Yuragi. Press the attack is used. Now the Rolling Thunder with a roll-up. They've got a duel, but he's chasing.
Wait,
Wop.
duel me.
Hedge up to the ball. They've got themselves the Will-Wisp. They get the kill into Toby. The Global Silence comes out a little bit late. Omar now in a bad spot, but telekinesis, right-click scene with the song being used. BKB going after this Naga Siren. All Lightning finding Kaori. But they can't get that kill quite yet as they're still retreating on the side of Quest, trying to draw them in. Maybe in a good positioning, and it will be for TA2000, but they've gotten the lockdown again. Overwhelming blink hits on a DM. They've got the stun. They turn this Pango to stone. This
They're
TA2000 as
completely
well
out
as
of
Toby,
mana.
they go in. Starbreaker swap from Kid Track. BZM not working with a lot of mana. They look over at Toby. Toby's going to heal up, but they've got the damage coming in on all these heroes on the side of Quest. TA2000, he's
Bobby just
low, but
bought back.
surviving. And they finally get the kill on Kaori. They get themselves the dual damage. They've got themselves the Ball Lightning as well as the Vortex onto TA2000 to hold him down. But the Rolling Thunder comes in with a swashbuckle. They've got the damage to get the kill on Yuragi. Now they look over the Magic Missile as well as Will-Wisp. They've got themselves the control to get the kill on the Noob as well as Omar. They hit this Naga Siren as well as the
They're cleaning
Dawnbreaker,
up.
but not with enough damage as they turn it all around. They get the kill on a BZM, DM, and Kid Track. And 4 heroes are dead on the side of OGs. They're going to buy back on DM. TA2000 and Omar looking over at Kid Track's illusion. They netted up, overwhelming blink drop on them and get the kill there. And they have buyback available on Yuragi as well as Kid Track on this Venge.
Oh man, what a gigantic fight. Look at the damage coming out from Medusa in that fight, 18,000. It's still not enough. They did buyback on 4 heroes, so they won't have it. Buyback is available again. Storm Spirit, he doesn't have it. No gold for him.
No. Swap. Stone
He's
Gaze.
500.
Rolling Thunder.
Again.
Song used. Duel and running. Chasing the ball. Putting DM in this precarious position. Will-Wisp is used. TA2000's locked up for a second. They start to retreat.
Whew, DM, professional e-gamer. It stands for duel me, but Pango does the Pango doesn't want to do it. He just keeps rolling away. And now Roshan, it is on Dire's side. They probably think that Storm Spirit must have buyback, so they want to go and play it safe. Maybe get like 1 more life on your Naga Siren. Noob is doing so much work in these fights, just like being in the middle of the fight, soaking up most of the damage.
Attracting duels.
Pretty much. I think Toby messed up there for a second. I thought it might be a disaster for them because he did not have TP available. He TP'd there, already used the Solar Guardian, and didn't have anything to TP to, so he had to walk from the base, connect with the rest of the team. One of the reasons why Quest probably played it slightly slower, and it's going to be Pangolier who picks it up, since Naga Siren has buyback. What a crazy game. 66-minute game. Like we've seen Team Secret in the previous series also pushing it to 70 plus minute 2 games. Seems like that's going to be the story of this series as well.
Definitely could be. As they get the Aegis, but they don't immediately run through top. Retreating for a moment. Interesting move. I thought Quest were just going to go for it.
Yeah, just farm, guys. Wait until we get to tier 6 items. We might actually see tier 6 items added to the game because a lot of these games, like tier 5 items, not enough to finish it off.
Yeah, it's a little surprising with the tier 5 items. They've got 3 gems just sitting on the ground right there. Here comes a courier to scoop him.
Dire's top barracks.
Never have I ever seen a courier scoop 3 gems.
Usually it's like 1 or 2, but 3, the game should end. Like you pick up 3 gems at the same time. This is like Dragon Ball Z. How many
Yeah.
gems like do you need to pick up in that one? 9?
7?
7? Okay.
And then you just get full map vision all the time.
Wait, you're playing with not having the vision of the full map?
Yeah. Are you?
See, I downloaded this program. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Still 1 melee barrack standing, so no mega creeps. They did not want to commit. There's double damage now available on Pango. Soon to be level 30. Naga Siren level 28. Medusa level 29, so we're getting closer to those extra talents on 25, so we'll see who decides to pick up that level 30 first.
Will-Wisping, by the way, in the top lane, just to make sure those illusions don't hit that last building.
Vengeful Spirit did get level 25 in one of the previous fights, which means that swap is now 90% damage reduction. Yeah, good luck killing anyone who gets swapped.
The thing is, though, Kitrak's been giving that swap up a lot. And kind of tough. These Book of Shadows came in clutch, by the way, in that last fight.
Yeah, keeping them alive. And now Uragi thinking about getting a Divine Rapier. We're 69
point.
minutes into the game.
We are at that point. So, 22,000 net worth lead here. There's the level 30 for the Pangolier. Picks up now both of those 25 talents. Naga only level 28. 29 here for Toby. But yeah, I mean, they're sending these illusions in. And so far, OG are defending.
Yeah, not a single team has Pirate Hat available. No one wants that free gold. Seems like they thought that this game was gonna end at like 60 minutes immediately. Took the best items for the moment. But you've seen that BZM did not have enough gold for buyback in the previous fight. That's like 2 runes that you dig up with Pirate Hat. Refresher also available on Silencer, plus level 25, Last Word Mutes. Comes the Doom.
Better
He
do.
wishes he had Aghanim Scepter on Silencer now. AoE Last Word with the Mute ability.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
but very far away from it. Like, he's just gonna wait. Maybe there's gonna be another buyback available for him.
Legions again. Omar using Fade Bolt pushing in, but these heroes
Dire's top
Not-
barracks are under attack.
moving with this Aegis into the high ground. It's going to expire.
Yeah, just wait for Roche. Number 7. I think was this 5th or 6th Roche?
think
Lost the
5th.
track of it. Probably 5th, yeah.
Yeah. So, Aegis expires. And we're past 70 minutes now.
I mean, just kind of waiting to see who wants to make the first move, right?
Who wants to step wrong? Or who's willing to even take that chance? Maybe the last fights made Quest a little bit hesitant on going in, but having that Aegis, having that opportunity, and not taking it the whole time with this Aegis is a little bit interesting.
And no one has block of cheese yet. So,
That's
a 70-minute game. They've been using these Lotuses, trying to heal up as much as they can. Can't really blame them. OG now smoked. Minute with no buyback on Medusa. Pango.
Dire are scanning.
No Aegis available on him anymore. He also needs 800 gold for buyback. His buyback is super expensive.
I don't see anybody with a Wave of Terror. But not willing to move any further up. Overwhelming Blink available on DM, 10,000 gold available on TA 2000.
You're a beautiful person with a charming
So-
personality to be a Giants fan.
Yeah, like, it's time to spam some of the Gaben lines.
Hey,
As things got really quiet for the last.
it really was
somehow.
quiet. No one was using any chat wheel in the old chat, but Yuragi is like, yeah, we can do that. 72-minute game. Buybacks are coming online. Pango needs to farm 500 gold for his buyback. So we're going to have 10 buybacks available pretty soon.
Divine Rapier money is there for Yuragi. He moves very quickly. And he buys it. So he's got Divine Rapier. Butterfly goes into the backpack, so do the Boots of Travel level 2 and the Refresher. Because you can never have enough gold in items.
I've been a big advocate of buying an extra slot. Not sure still how much it would cost, but like buying a 7 slot for, I don't know, 15,000.
15?
10 to 15,000. Yeah, imagine him having full butterfly in his inventory now.
I guess, maybe, but 15,000 seems like a lot.
Pirate hat.
I was going to say maybe it should be a tier 6 neutral.
Then you would not need to sell your Midas ever.
Yeah. Well, tier 6 neutral. It would be a while. 35 seconds till Roche, by the way.
10 heroes with the buybacks.
Everybody's got buyback. Everybody's waiting for Roche. Still, shockingly, they have not been able to pierce that top lane and grab this melee racks for mega creeps. So 10 seconds. This quest now moved up a little bit. Look at the damage numbers, almost 100,000 for the Medusa. Probably get broken in the next fight.
That's like the whole team of Quest.
6 Roche is available.
It's going to be on Dire side. I think it's better if it's on Radiant side, just because Silencer picks it up and has that upgrade to AoE last word, which mutes with his level 25 talent.
Scan connects, they know that they're coming. They know that they were within that scan. They start to retreat back towards the Roche pit. And Roche is up, so do they want to commit to that? Do they want to find the proper positioning? They've got some illusions on the high ground. Well, magic missile action and a swap on an illusion. That illusion's going to be doing 90% less damage. But it's dead. So swap on cooldown for just 5 seconds. As it's the illusion duel in the top lane. And the Naga Siren illusions are winning. Both these teams on a tip of a knife's edge.
Holding that high ground near the Twin Gate, that's the advantage. 76 minutes into the game. BZM ready to jump in.
Somebody looking to make a move. A little bit of that deforestation. Coming through with the Celestial Hammer. BZM throwing a remnant down. Both teams a little bit scared as Yuragi's going to be forced to go back to clean up some creeps.
He can get recalled by Keeper of the Light. Doesn't need to use Boots of Travel or anything to come back. Let's see if Quest wants to open up Roche.
Ball lightning from BZM sitting on the high ground. Noob's going to come over. They've got themselves the Vortex. Ball lightning back for a second. Will leave. Illusions are being used now to scout the side of OG.
Who's going to lose the focus? I think everyone who plays Dota has been in this scenario where like, I kind of want to play with the mouse only, not much is happening, but
Yeah.
these e-gamers, like, they can't afford to make the same mistakes as we do in the pubs.
Magic missile from afar. Willis put half in the pit. And there's the recalling Yuragi. full 5-man smoke from Quest Esports. Trying to find just a little bit of an opening. Rolling Thunder comes in. Butterfly's going to stay there. And they've got a courier trying to pick it up, and it does. But now they've got the global silence being used, as well as the BKBs and the refresher. They've got themselves the Vortex. It lands on a 2. They should be able to get the kill to Kaori. He's got himself buyback. They've got the swap into the Will-Wisp, as well as the duel. But a stolen swap once again. Omar, he has been perfect with the steals that he's made. They've got him the Song of the Siren. They've got the silence. It's going to be on a 2,000. It'll go split. But now, Magic Missile bouncing off of Noob as well as Omar. They've got another swap, but Omar, he's not going to be able to get hit. He's got himself the Book of the Shadows. Starbreaker used by Toby. They've got the aggression coming out of there with Uragi, but he's going to be able to split. They go to the global silence once again. They've got themselves Noob in a little bit of trouble. He goes to the swashbuckle. The damage coming in. Shield crash. Another swap from Omar, getting him away from the fight. Omar has been perfect. They've got the telekinesis. Now they're looking over at BCM. He's going to end up dead. He'll buy back into the fight. Book of Shadows doing so much work to keep these heroes alive on the side of Quest Esports. As Toby, now with the Starbreaker, he goes to the refresher. They've got themselves the Rolling Thunder once again with that talent. And Noob sitting low on health. There's the Mystic Snake, but it's not going to do the damage to get the kill on a Noob. BKB, BZM, he's out of mana. Omar on the high ground. Noob still surviving, but they finally get the kill. They've got themselves the duel. It's going to be on Omar. They've got themselves the control to get the victory with that duel again here now. Uragi getting that kill, and the buybacks come out from 2.
Kaori will not
Omar,
have buyback.
as well as Noob coming back into the fight. They've got themselves another song that's going to lock up for these heroes. What can they set up with it? It's actually 5. It's a full team songed up and slept.
Throne is exposed.
They're going to go. The throne's exposed. They've got creeps going in. This fight might take too long. Solar Guardian's going to slam down. BZM with the ball of lightning. They look over T2000. They've got themselves the Mystic Snake. Noob's going to end up looking over as Toby dies and buys back as well. But the throne exposed. They use the glyph. T2000 with the Book of Shadows. He's trying to run. Omar stunned up. Magic Missile. Kaori ends up dead. Uragi's got the damage. Omar gets in with the Glimmer Cape and away once more. Rolling Thunder trying to leave, buying some time as they send Seb back to deal with these creeps. Hit track. He'll end up dead. They've got themselves the illusion. They go to the swap with the Magic Missile. It bounces over, hits on a TH2000, but he's got himself the KB on Toby to try and run, and they've got themselves the sleep again with the saw. They start to run from the side of OG. They don't have a silencer for 100 seconds, but they've been holding their ground with the Book of Shadows as well as everything else as these refreshers starting to really pile up.
These refreshers, Ex Machinas, everybody has like double, triple BKB, surviving long enough. And not many heroes dying in the end. Like, you can feel that Quest is lacking slightly damage to kill this Medusa, who's sitting on 16,000 gold at the moment, fully jacked. Like, what do you even buy? The worst is Butterfly at. You might have sent it back.
On the courier.
It's
up at the top twin gate.
You found it, actually. Now those 15,000 gold to buy an extra slot, that doesn't sound so stupid, huh?
I don't know. I don't want to agree with you, though.
I got him Scepter.
This is Roche now on the bottom side.
Legion Commander will pick it up. Reducing cooldown by 30 seconds, so it's going to be a lot of duels.
Immortality is mine.
So Ags for DM. Not sure if he even wants to use that. He's been using it on the Rolling Thunder a lot.
We'll pick it up. Again, damage reduction, 50%, you get swapped. Literally no damage taken.
Literally healing.
Yeah, Divine Rapier now purchased by Pango. 81 minutes. Let's see how much he can do. He doesn't have buyback for a good 5 minutes now. I think OG is in a better spot, not just because they have this like number on top of the screen. It's just because they don't. They have buyback available on Medusa. They have another Divine Rapier potentially. I think at this point you buy Divine Rapier and you put it in the base.
Might have to. You know what it should be, by the way, with your activating a slot? It should you don't get an additional slot, you just activate a backpack slot and you can buy 3 of them. For 15,
how much does it
then
cost?
20, then 25,000.
That's very expensive for a backpack slot.
15. Well, no, you get to activate them like they're part of your real inventory.
Let's just
Uragi?
with what we have at the moment. Uragi sleeps. He's
Wait,
gonna run away.
You say it? What the hell?
There's that Butterfly. There's that Demon Edge.
Scanning.
Thinking about the Divine Rapier again. Buyback cost 6,000 on Medusa.
Illusion.
They're not even willing to go in with their Aegis either. At least not yet.
Oh, Mirror Shield. Fury hexing himself.
Kind of split up. They need to be worried about these illusions as well as Noob. He's top with the Divine Rapier. Get into the 83rd minute.
Yeah, I saw Toby purchasing Deso as his like 6th item. Has
Yeah.
0 charges on it. Maybe there was some thinking about going for the throne. Someone sneaks in, they go for the throne. There's no glyph available for another minute.
Yeah, they had to use it in that last fight to survive. I thought they might lose to just that, but they sent Seb back.
Lightning spotting them, Vortex on a 2. They've got the control. They look over at Kilroy. They've got themselves the duel coming out from DM. They get the kill on the silencer. Song TP. Ooh,
They're going for the
2000
throne.
They're going for
There
the
it
throne.
is.
They're going to use
The
themselves
rat.
the Solar Guardian. They're going to try and get in.
Pull
The
down
TPs. I don't think
30
there's going to be a time. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a
Song.
time for
Oh,
them.
pull
They've
down.
got
They're
themselves the
doing
throne
it.
in the
They're doing it.
game. Oh my God, they just stole it.
It took them good 83 minutes to finish off this game. Like I just mentioned the rat potential, seeing this Deso being picked up. So with the Solar Guardian, they go in and Pango, I'm like, he's not holding onto his tier 5 neutral item. He was using the other neutral so that he smokes himself Ninja Gear. And they don't see him. They tried to kill these melee barracks for such a long time. Didn't manage to do so, but the throne was exposed, and somebody on the team timed that glyph. So they had good 30 seconds to go in and finish it off. Oh,
That is, what a way to snipe a game. As they probably, OG's probably like, we just killed Silencer. Let's just go. We've got this. We're right by their base. TPs. And
They
then the
have-
Solar Guardian.
OG had their focus somewhere elsewhere. Like they're like, okay, this is it. It's the silencer. No buyback on him. We should go in and try to end the game. But yeah, what a move in the end. Like understanding the timings. I feel like Quest as a team keeps the track on pretty much everything. Because there was this time where they did have buybacks 1 minute earlier before OG, and they were definitely thinking with the way they were moving across the map to go in and try to end the game, like buyback on them, come with the boots of travel. What a crazy game! Like these lower bracket games, elimination ones, just like they hit differently.
Yeah, I mean, it goes 80 plus minutes. We see this, like, I love that this highlight's just taking place in 78 minutes. I mean, this was a huge fight. The one where it felt like, yeah, OG had taken the win. Omar was doing so much in these fights. Like, I know there's so many people you could probably give MVP to, but Omar kept them in the game for so long with the swaps that he stole and with everything that he was able to take from the side of OG. Like, we said it early on in the game. This isn't exactly the flashiest Rubik game, right? Like, there's not a lot here to just steal. But having swap every opportunity and saving his team multiple times, like, Noob survives in that fight for so long because he gets swapped away twice.
And they're so good at spellcasting and holding hands together, like using these Book of the Shadows, Glimmer Capes, Lotus Orbs, Force Staffs, like defensive, telekinesis, whatever you want to call it. Like when it comes down to these like 60+ minute games, someone's gonna lose and it's gonna feel bad. So especially for 84, 85 minute game, I lost the track of time watching this one. But in the end, Quest Esports, they do finish it off. Like it took them a while to figure it out. And someone's paying attention, which I really like, because they're like, okay, we have to do something about this one. I thought that they might miss the opportunity, but in the end, they go for it and they succeed.
Yeah, so Omar, for me, he's going to be my MVP. I think he saved these fights so many times. I know it's so easy to give it to like TA 2000 or somebody like that, but it just felt so like the impact he had in fights, maybe not in the front of your face, but the most important when it came down to it, right?
Yeah, one more quick game before going to bed, and this is what happens to most of us. And then you're going to be yawning all day, not available to do anything at work. But yeah, you said it at the start of the series that we might see 3 games. We might see like some 3 crazy long-ass games. And seems like a good way to start a series.
Yeah, definitely a great way to start a series. And that was a fun one. I'm expecting 2 more games like that. I mean, that was pretty insane. Like, that was a super fun one. There were some lulls in the moments, but other than that, I mean, you know, it felt like it was so tense the entire time. It was such a great game 1. You're gonna have to come back and watch game number 2 and hopefully a game number 3, but it's a 1-0 lead for Quest right now. We'll be back with game number 2 in a moment. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
No mana storm, guys.
Blink and two, blink
I got swap.
Kill Alcy first.
Alcy dying. Dusa very low mana, guys.
Yeah, I can disable Dusa now.
Yeah, I'm going Conduza,
Ulti and 7.
Duza was outside,
I will stun him. Look at Dusa, guys. Look at Dusa, 0 mana.
Ulti and 1.
I have buy.
Dusa harder. I need help. I will jump in soon.
1 HP.
Dusa.
He's halberded, guys. He's 1 HP, 1 HP.
Dusa dying, guys.
No buy, not there. No buy Dusa. Storm guys.
Nice.
I buy. I'm tipping.
They no buy, go push guys, go push. 30 seconds, no buy.
He's tipping. Killing bench.
Can't fucking move.
And we go push guys, 30
Yeah,
seconds,
yeah.
30 seconds.
Do you have travels?
No, I use. I'm buying this.
Fast.
Welcome back to the Western Europe TI qualifiers. Game 1, looking like the same as the first series, where it's just 100-minute games back to back. It was all happening, and then it just wasn't. Like that's really how that game went. It was just like, all right, this has been this long game, and then now it's over. Like it just, you called it out. You were like, 30 seconds left on the glyph, and then they were like, oh, all right, bet. And then they just went in and took the game. That was an insane move. And having that global presence with a Solar Guardian too to jump
Solar
in
Guardian,
there.
AC, Deso, Naga Siren, and also Pango smoking in, getting the damage onto the throne, naked throne. They couldn't get mega creeps, I think, for like good 35, 40 minutes. And there was one last barracks, one melee barracks standing, and they're like, okay, I think for this game, you have to use the website called Who Used Glyph to see who you can blame. I'm not sure if like Glyph was necessary for that last fight, because it was like pretty chaotic. Every single fight in the last 25, 30 minutes of the game were pretty chaotic. To start with, the Keeper of the Light, he TP'd back to defend. Not sure if it was necessary, but there's not too much thinking about like what happened, what could have been done. You're gonna have this talk after the series finishes, whether you win or lose. But now you need to focus on the second game, because you are, especially as an OG, you're one game down, and you need to figure out how to approach it. Again, OG, when it comes down to laning stage, they seem like slightly weaker to some of the teams that are still in the qualifiers. Yesterday, they did lose all 3 games against Alliance. Now against Quest, they did manage to put like a decent amount of pressure on TA 2000, who was pushed out. But again, you're pushing out Naga Siren into the jungle. This is where the hero likes to be. Like, he bought Hand of Midas, and they were the ones controlling the tempo of the game for a really long time. Maybe something different. I feel like they put themselves in a spot where, they can't really make the moves. This mid lane went really well, but again, it was into global silence, so BZM couldn't do what he wanted to do with the Storm Spirit in the game. Legion Commander was off to a great start, getting some early duel damage, the most farm hero in the game 10 minutes into the game, and then kind of stopped doing what they've been doing.
It's kind of crazy that BZM was coming into a lot of those fights and had like no mana.
I think every single fight he had no mana.
No mana. It was insane, right?
Seb was replenishing mana on both of these targets. Both of them actually need Chakra Magic to sustain, and getting the healing lotuses, getting Chakra Magic, Lotus, Force Staff, whatever it's necessary to keep them alive. He kept the distance, had a really good game. But so did Quest Esports. Like Omar, he didn't die for a really long time, and you've been praising him throughout the whole game with these stolen swaps. Even with the Aghanim Scepter, he's like, I want to, having 2 abilities to steal. Most of the time, he had one. It's like, I want to have this swap, and I want to have this on this key so I don't miss it, so I swap people out of the trouble.
He did it 3 times in that fight that happened up by the Roche pit before 12th Roche or whatever it was. And, it was just, it's his positioning. And not only that, it was the items too, because I'm pretty sure there were multiple times where, when they were chasing Noob, he had Glimmer Cape as well. So he made Noob invis as Yuragi's attention is on this, rolling thundered Pangolier, just chasing a ball around that goes invis. And then where did it go? How do I get here? It was just perfect plays coming out from a support that you love to see, that I feel like sometimes just don't get the credit they deserve. So
yeah, there were so many nice plays. I mean, it's not hard to find some good plays, having 10 professional E-players in the game playing 85-minute games, so that's really not hard. But in the end, Quest, they think outside of the box, and they found themselves a dub, and it seems like they needed a slightly extended break to reset from this one, because it was a long one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you, is you have a game like that is exhausting, that is just so mind-numbing, and truthfully, the breaks in between aren't that huge, so you have to kind of get back to set. And we've said it a couple times, a team that loses a game like that, they usually win game 2. It's kind of crazy how many times I feel like I see a team lose a game like that, come back with a vengeance, and win game 2. But the reset time isn't long. How do you get yourself back mentally for a game like this?
It's like Dota players, especially the younger ones, like I think everyone experienced it as well. You queue, you lose a game, you instantly queue again. So I don't like. Sometimes you need a little bit more reset time.
Step away from the computer.
To just stretch your legs, have a bit of a talk. OG, Seb being that guy, winning like 2 TIs with the team, with your different squad, but he was always giving speeches, and like we've seen it in the true side that they are able to reset. And now with the younger squad, still having a figure like that, I'm not too worried about them mentally resetting coming into the second game.
Yeah, I know if I lose a game like that, Dota's off for the night, but they don't have this option. They have to play game number 2 and try to force a game 3 and try to continue on to tomorrow. But let's see how this draft goes. It's been interesting. The Gyro gets banned again. Pango getting banned this time. I mean, Noob caused them a lot of problems. And, yes, DM was dueling him, so he wasn't really able to do much with his Rolling Thunders at times. But at the same time, his presence outside of those duels was so overwhelming that, it's a first ban for sure. Like, it just has to be.
He did way too much on Pango in that game, so no, not really surprised that they banned it out. There's still Phoenix left in the pool. That is Kaori's best hero by far. He just shines on the hero, so they needed to make some adjustments, banning out this Naga Siren, banning out Pango, and speaking of Phoenix, there it is, instantly picked up by Quest Esports. Not really a surprise considering how well he plays it. I already mentioned it, that he's like the best Phoenix player in the world. Always pleasure to watch him play the hero, and OG will get some healing of their own, some extra attack speed to be able to kill the egg and match the healing that Phoenix provides in a team fight.
Yeah, so going to be looking out for potentially heroes that can handle the Supernova.
Oof, this bar is moving slowly. Only 33% win rate so far.
You know it's not going to be good when it's only crawling to that bar. Gosh.
5
But
seconds remaining.
let's see. Naga Siren banned out. They had a lot of trouble with that hero as well. The songs were giving them a lot of trouble. And they banned that Lycan, something you were talking about. Getting Toby to play something else, right?
Yeah, I think like this whole matchup against two offlaners, which have pretty similar hero pool, heroes that they like to play, I don't think they're going to get to choose. They're not going to get their S-tier heroes. I already see Lycan being banned. There's a Brewmaster available, which is the other hero Toby did play.
Storm getting banned, and now they banned the Sven, a hero that can jump in, play, and put some damage out there and potentially smash an egg, right?
Yeah, they could be prepping for like Medusa of their own. Sven hits an earlier timing. There's also potential PL pick when I see Sven. It also gives, like Io gives Sven good laning stage. He doesn't necessarily need to go to jungle early on. He can sustain in the lane, like we've seen in the series when Secret played like 6 hours ago, because this last game lasted for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like what Sven can do, especially when he's off to a good start.
Man, that series was that long ago. My God. I mean, we're setting up for another 80-minute game here. Although, no Naga, sorry, no Medusa. Also, at the beginning of that game, I did say Naga and Medusa synonymous with 80-minute games. And then we got there. Now, Naga's out, and we're not having it again.
There's still Medusa available.
Oh, no.
I think the hero gets contested, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Also, Faceless Void banning out some of these like,
BZM
late game
Invoker.
carries, and BZM will get the hands on the Invoker. So having global presence of their own in this game, having that Sunstrike, Boots of Travel later on, Aya with the Relocate.
Maybe sensing that they want to go for Legion again on DM.
Remaining.
We've seen that combo a lot. A little bit surprising that they did also give up the Invoker. And an early puck pick. Not a hero we're seeing a lot of. And Into the Sky. So probably now deterring a Legion pick, right?
And so far, Quest Like they played really well with this Skyrat Mage. I was thinking about it, but maybe thought that they might go with something beefier on position 4 because you have Phoenix. And so far they are undefeated on Puck in the TI qualifiers. Noob plays the hero really well. Also, picking up Puck and picking up Skyrat Mage together takes away potential Skyrat Mage pick against them because both Phoenix and Puck would struggle against this long duration silence on Skyrat Mage. However, they need some playmaking offlane. Like this offlaner needs to be something super tanky to protect Skyrat Mage, who's extremely squishy. So is Phoenix.
What about Phantom Assassin for OG?
PA? I could see that happening. Maybe they don't necessarily need to pick their carry like straight away. I think they can go with the offlane and one more support and then save the pick for last. Because they have the last pick, so they will see the matchup, and some of these heroes that TA2000 likes to play that I mentioned could be like potentially countered by different heroes, even Phantom Assassin that you mentioned.
Yep. Skywrath is classic one dagger dead kind of hero. Where you're trying to get something done, you just die immediately.
OG's turn
But
to pick.
they go Disruptor. Also not a support we're seeing that much of. Both teams not exactly have like the best lockdown at the moment. Obviously, you've got Glimpse, Kinetic Field, as well as Tornado. But for the other side, like Quest, if Supernova explodes, if the, and Dream Coil, but both teams kind of needing like that
5 seconds.
low cooldown stun, right?
Yeah, like maybe some like offlane Dragonite, Brewmaster, these type of heroes are gonna be popular. There's still Underlord available for DM, but I think like this last hero for OG might need to be like a stun, but they go with the Underlord. They're just picking like what they feel comfortable with.
You just go Brew in response here?
Now that you see the matchup, you might pick up your safe lane. You know what you're playing into, Underlord plus IO or Disruptor IO, depending like how they want to lane it, what kind of carry OG wants to pick up.
5 seconds remaining.
So minute 15 on the reserve time. Thinking about what they want to do. What's the response? Maybe thinking about that carry that they want to play with this. You were saying Medusa's still available. But is Medusa a good pick for Quest against this lineup? I mean,
this could be
a problem.
Yeah, this could be a very aggressive lineup from OG, something similar that they did yesterday when they played against Alliance. So having Aura Builder from the offlane, having Alacrity, having Sustain. Seb did play Treant Protector, now he's going to play Io, most likely. So maybe this like Luna pick that comes out in the last phase, maybe you need to get rid of it because OG showed some
Dire team ban.
like really nice performance on it, and TA2000 will be playing TA this game. Fits the lore.
Do they play? I mean, can TA just go safe? Would they ever swap with like Puck? Maybe throw Puck in the offlane or something like that?
Yeah, I don't think they would. I think this is like
5 seconds remaining.
way too much complicating for what you're getting out of these ones.
OG's turn to ban.
So something
theory
tanky,
crafting.
something super tanky needs to be picked for Quest. Like they definitely lack frontline. They have 4 range heroes and also playing into Underlord, they're playing into healing from Io. I'm down. I mean, OG, they still have the last pick, so they are going to try to counter. There's the Brewmaster that we mentioned. I said maybe Dragonite.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea.
Dawnbreaker is still available. I'm fine with Dawnbreaker.
I like the DK giving you that stun, though. And he's definitely a tanky frontliner. Like,
10 seconds.
usually...
The reason why I like Dawnbreaker as well is you'll have always something
5 seconds.
to drop on top of the coil. And there
Right.
it is. Yeah, because the combos, like this has been like very popular combo when the hero was first introduced into the game.
Right. My only question with that would have been, if Dawnbreaker is the last pick for Quest, Dawnbreaker's more of a reactionary hero, right? Like, you don't really, you have that frontliner once they're in the fight, but you have to play reactionary, which might be a little bit tough, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. They removed Medusa. There's PL.
So
Yuragi loves to play that hero. I don't know. I'm down for Luna. I like the tempo that they set in that game yesterday for OG.
Visage.
This has been Toby's hero. Not it is a range hero, but it's also a tanky hero. A hero that builds into auras. You get like Solar Crest, comes online relatively quickly. They did not want to farm it up. You know, some like Dragon Knight, maybe with Hand of Midas into Blink. Could be slower. So let's see how OG approaches it.
5 seconds remaining.
So, last pick. How's this Visage been doing? 13 picks, actually, with a 53.85 win percentage, and they go to the Terrorblade.
TB was still in the pool. TB is just like, you don't know what to pick. TB seems good. Scotty Builder against 5 range heroes feels nice to have. They have some good amount of burst damage coming out from Puck, Omar, Kaori, but they also have a lot of sustain. A little worried for Quest's frontline. Like, Visage can be that guy. I think if Quest loses laning stage, OG might roll over them.
Yeah, they definitely can set that tempo. We saw it yesterday in that third game against Alliance, where they know how to keep it up. But I definitely need to see OG come out of a laning phase where they're confident, right? Like, they did have a good start in game number 1 of this series, but it fell apart once Noob started moving around, because he found a lot early on.
In terms of lockdown that they have against Puck, there isn't much. Like, there's not a single stun that Puck is afraid of. There's some like Tornado into Static Storm combo. Glimpse, he can dodge that. Pit of Malice, maybe later to catch him. But when it comes down to real stuns, something that like you blink initiate with, there isn't that ability. So Noob, and this is also very early Puck into the draft, 2nd pick overall.
Yeah, and you don't even have a stun for
not
it.
many counters, exactly.
It's kind of concerning too. Like, yeah, OG, if they get out of the laning phase, they're going to look good. But if it's close enough for Quest, like, I think Noob's just going to have a similar style game where he's able to do whatever he wants. Kaori putting out some laughing squawks. Let's see, as all 5 heroes together for the side of OG. It is BZM on the patented Invoker, the Grandmaster.
Of course.
Ominous beeps. We've got 2 heroes squawking and or beeping like that. No words.
Marcy can join the team.
To battle.
Yeah. A little whistling.
Get tracked.
In trouble to start with the concussive shot. EMP is going to land, but it's not going to matter. First blood for Toby.
Great start. Like, we've seen Visages, what they can do if they're off to a good start. Whenever I think of Visage, 33 as a player comes to my mind. Like, he's the Grandmaster Visage player. And what is he bringing? Some extra regeneration. Another circlet going into Bracer next. We'll see if this is going to be like Phylactery game, because he had a great start. Or if he wants to build into Solar Crest, tank things up, get the drums, pipe later on. There's a huge amount of magical damage coming out from Invoker, Underlord, Disruptor. Pretty much every hero does have it.
What's like the big killer lane right now for either team? Is there really even a killer lane? Actually, is it Yuragi and Kitrak at level 2?
Top lane, definitely not a killer lane. By like, it's Io plus Underlord. That's going to be a sustain lane. Phoenix, slow, very slow when it comes down to his laning stage. I think it's going to be bottom. I think Yoragi is going to be in trouble considering the amount of nuke damage that they have. Another concussive shot with another blood grenade soul assumption. He dies. I think in this one, it's very important for Terrorblade to itemize correctly, get as much stats as you can. Magic Wand, Bracer, Treads, get another Belt of Giant Strength, Raindrop, all these small items just to tank up as much as possible. Noob getting caught in the mid lane. Some good harassment from BZM.
Yeah, BZM, we were talking about it in game number 1. He kind of needs to be the one who gets out of the starting line quickly. And he's gone for Quaswex to start. And he's got that urn queued up, so we'll see. Because, again, both these heroes definitely looking as they start to hit that level 6-7 point to make something happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if they're going to be putting the pressure here. Every single time he gets close, concussive shot in his face. Visage consumes a lot of mana. This is very mana dependent. Soul Assumption 110. They hit level 2 immediately. Kitrak starts to play aggressive.
Oh boy.
Maybe too
Soul
aggressive.
Assumption, not even used. He's just going to throw it over onto Uragi. They get the kill into Kitrak, and that's the second time he's died already.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So,
attack.
Uragi dropping some items inside the base, ready for his Disruptor to bring to him. And Kitrak will do just that, picking them all up. Top lane just seems like DM and Seb will be able to sustain. They're not going to die in this lane.
There's not enough damage. TA in the safe lane doesn't have those levels to threaten a kill when she's paired up with a hero like a Phoenix. Already having Headress, Underlord, one Bracer going into Soul Ring Phase Boot. So this lane should do really well for OG. They push the wave. There is big camp being blocked. Let's see if Seb unblocks it, and then they start pulling. 3 minutes. Also, Load is going to be available soon.
Early on, Kaori just trying to body block this camp. Both teams looking to always keep these camps blocked as Uragi, bottom lane, gets a kill onto Omar while he gets traded by this Lotus pool. So, Uragi dying in this lane. All 3 deaths have come from this bottom lane of OG.
This also leaves some solo XP for Visage, which is really good. Once hero hits level 6, he's gonna go for like even solo kills on these heroes like Disruptor, can find Terrorblade, and immediately starting to play aggressive again. Concussive shot hits on both of them.
Yeah, they really don't want to give them any sort of reprieve, right? And just make sure that the pressure's on. And you can't feel confident really in this lane for Kitrak and Uragi, and we're seeing a bit of that. Mid lane though, it's BZM starting to pull away a little bit.
Puck has no mana to work with. These EMP tornadoes have been on point for BZM.
There is another tornado, no EMP this time, but illusory orb used by Noob to get over to this water rune. BZM just kind of leaving the other one, but
We'll pick it up.
Goes pick it up. You see it again, concussive shot over bottom. Like Uragi has to constantly eat this damage, and he's only got 16 CS. He's not really having a comfortable farming time down in the bottom lane. It's been tough, and you know, like you said, top's not really a killer lane. As much as DM and Seb are gonna have a good time here to get some CS, like TA 2000 just feels safe. So you can just farm.
He's farming. The question is how many stacks can they make? Again, making a move on Kitrak. Does have Raindrop available, so does Uragi. So they need to burn through these charges. Already burned through 4 of them on Uragi.
Does he buy another set? Or
No,
does he just go back
one
into the jungle.
one set is all he needs.
Yeah.
Toby's really low on mana. He doesn't have much mana to work with.
It does cost a lot. Level 1 of the Soul Assumption is 110 mana, and he's got 1 Clarity to work with, but the mana isn't exactly pristine for him. And I've got 1 Mango from Omar that they could take. Probably want to have control on that 6-minute Lotus pool as well to get that Lotus to give that mana over. We'll see if any supports go over towards mid. I know that is Always in question is Noob taking a lot of damage here from BZM. Noob will pop a clarity of his own while the 6-minute rune is about to spawn, and Kitrak might. I thought he might get caught here, but Noob doesn't exactly have a lot to work with, and they would have liked to get that glimpse and maybe pull him back, but Hillary, he's the one protecting the shield rune, and that's going to be what Noob picks up. I thought that BZM was controlling mid enough to get that, and would have potentially been the rune to dominate the lane with.
Quest understands the importance of giving Puck runes in this one, so he will pick up another one, another bounty rune on his side. Yuragi's coming with meta.
Meta, just need a couple more hits onto Omar, but the Icarus dive, and Seb's here to heal him up, but can he heal him up enough? Going past this tier 1 tower, and Omar's nearby. It looks as though Seb, he's going to be in between a rock and a hard place, and so will Kitrak, but nobody dying at the moment, and somehow, after a clash happens right there, nobody dies.
XP runes coming out.
DM, he's pretty much safe by himself at this point, right?
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
Radiant's
At tier 2000, he's farming. He's farming some of these smaller camps in the jungle, and that pushes him closer to level 6, while DM is only level 4.5.
Wow. Yeah. And now he's getting some solo experience, so he'll hit 5.
Last raindrop.
Ooh, they're going for Yuragi. Soul Assumption with this Ancient Seal Silence. But BZM, now this is what they needed him to do, but they've got this sentry down. They know he's here, but it might be too little too late. EMP with the cold snap, and they've got Toby going the other way. Tornado misses, though. Kinetic Field's also not going to be on the mark
here.
Yeah, they're wasting a lot to get this kill on Toby, or trying to get this kill onto Toby. They haven't even secured it yet, and it's really difficult for them to control him. Finally, they get another cold snap. They'll eventually take out Toby, and BZM gets credit for the kill there, taking away the killing spree, but that was a
Took him
chase
good
and a half.
30 seconds to get the kill there. Puck is level 7. Thinking about going in, playing slightly more aggressive. This is some good damage onto tower. Usually, like Phoenix and Scarlet Mage don't deal damage to towers, but they had a big wave because OG, they were busy in the bottom lane.
BZM comes back over towards mid, wanting to protect this tier 1 tower. Noob, by the way, he's gone
are scanning.
to the 4 points in Illusory Orb, 2 in Waning Rift, and 1 in the Phase Shift. Omar chased, and Seb's in with the tether. Seb's in with the kill. Getting urn charges ready for BZM. What does he have flying out? Anything?
They're stealing their stacks. Finding a neutral item. Let's see what he gets for himself.
Want to be able to take these stacks away from the TA, right? If
Yeah,
he's going to be the one taking them. Does he have any stacks on the other side of the jungle? He's got 1. Not really as many stacks as I thought they would have.
They have 3 stacks in the outer ring of Ancients. Because this is where you stack when you pick up the XP rune. Maybe if the lane is pushed, your position 4 can easily stack it. And now Noob picks up that 1 value point in Dream Coil, Phase Shift, dodges it, and gets out of Kinetic Field.
Yeah, not easy to glimpse back a puck.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Like we were saying, it's a pretty free game for him in terms of lockdown, and it's easy to dodge the glimpse. The really only thing that's going to make his life potentially difficult, right? Kinetic Fields, blocking in Kaori. We get to the 10-minute mark. Come over with the Tornado EMP. Noob's here. Guys, he's got a Dream Coil. That'll snap on BZM. Seb not willing to snap it just yet. Now they've got the silence and a quick kill. Damage coming in with the Ancient Seal, as well as Toby coming over.
Toby is level 6 now, so they have they have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 flying heroes in the mid lane and some familiars.
4 flying heroes,
Yeah,
2 familiars.
OG needs Rocket. They need Clockwork Tinker to shoot them down. Sniper.
What we really need to get is Kodama's reach.
Not sure what that is.
I don't even think
It's
that's
some
the-
weapon from Dragon
some-
Ball or something.
No, it's the wrong Magic the Gathering card.
Oh, okay.
I thought about what it was, and I was like, oh, it's a Magic card that takes away flying? No. And then I remembered it doesn't do that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So these are the 2 Magic Gathering cards that you know. What they do out of 10 million.
It's the only one I thought I knew. I didn't even get it right. Oh my gosh. Somebody in chat will know. Ooh. Don't want to take the courier. Patience.
BZM and Kit Tractor
Ooh.
chasing.
Static Storm, Kinetic Field, EMP all down, and TA2000 has to try and fight back, but goes into the meld. The Dream Coil on
And he got a
3.
full kill before? Ooh,
Seth
almost.
He's in trouble and dies. They take out the egg. Blood Grenade on the BZM as well as Kit Track. They've got themselves the Glimpse as well as the Kinetic Field. Kit Track is going to survive. They take out Omar. That's going to be 3 dead on the side of Quest.
TA2000 survived for a really long time.
Oh,
They
yeah.
used everything, Urn of Shadows, Blood Grenade to deal with those refraction charges, Firestorm, Static Storm, and then he manages to get another one. They get the kill on Seb. At least it's something. I think they need to use Toby. Toby is, like when it comes down to farm, not the most farm hero in the game, but he packs a punch, having the Solar Crest, and is going back to Phylactery after finishing off Solar.
It'll be a while till he gets that, though. Not exactly cheap by any means. With those 2 components left. But he's free farming in the moment. You've got Uragi who's just sitting on the outer jungles camps, and he's picked up a Midas.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower.
They will have double Hand of Midas available. 1 on TB, 1 on Invoker. So some extra influx of gold coming out their way.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Up.
Dire's top tower is under
Looking to
attack.
take
As soon-
this tier 1 tower.
I want to see Quest play much more aggressive as soon as Visage picks up this Phylactery. If he's not focused, he deals insane amount of damage in the team fights. Supports die almost instantly. Terrorblade, I don't know if he wants to join. For now, they're farming the jungle together, Seb providing some extra HP regeneration
Bottom tower has
to him.
fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ooh, there's that mech. A little bit more sustainability is available for the side of OG. Midas being built for BZM. He's put some pressure on. He's 2-0-2. You know, he's moved around the map. That's exactly what they needed, and now he's going to have a Midas to try and push himself even further down the line in terms of net worth.
Right now, Quest is underneath the vision. OG wanted to smoke there. Noob TPing out, and it's being pinged out immediately. Static Storm available. Tornado. Noob going back, but the rune is spawning. Fortunately for him, it's top. If the rune is bottom, they would definitely go for it. They still might do so.
Yeah. Static Storm, Kinetic Field, that gets up. But Omar comes in with the silence.
Let's see if
on
he can do the
BZM.
trick. Yes, he
Well
can.
done. Nicely done with the illusion rune right there to get out. But they've got the glimpse still, though. Phase shift, avoiding it. Sunstrike coming in and missing.
Kitrak needed to destroy that illusion rune, right-click it, because as like Noob was like, oh, I might be dead here, and then it clicked for a second. Same goes for me. Gets on the edge, uses illusion, and gets out of the kinetic field and static storm, and is going for their XP rune as well. This is a tricky one. This is might be too aggressive.
Dire's structures
Yeah.
are fortified.
DM ends up picking it up. So meanwhile, some pressure onto the tier 1 mid, almost getting that. But Quest, they've got themselves a 2,000 net worth lead. They've got TA2000 continuing to farm, feeling
And he gets
comfortable.
the deny.
He's got the Deso and also gets the deny on the tower.
I want to see the amount of stacks that they did. I feel like, again, Quest is just stacking a lot. There was yeah, there it is. Omar, 7. Rest of the team, 1. And OG has been pretty busy playing the lane, so they couldn't stack at the time. Toby, Phylactery is available, level 9, almost level 10. They're going for Roche, I think. They're setting things up for it. It's on Dire side, they have Deso, Solar Crest, they can kill it.
Do OG think about contesting? Or do they just farm?
I don't think they have a good read on this. even if they did, like the amount of damage that they can deal, Supernova as well, Kaori, he is showing in the lane, they set things up, they planted down Sentry and Observer just in case OG wants to contest it, and this should be a freebie.
Dire's middle tower is under
Radiant are using the scan, and it does connect.
Sunstrike will also
Sunstrike.
come through.
They know that there's way too much damage. They saw a Solar Crest. Templar Assassin was going for Deso. It will die in 25-30 seconds.
DM was putting pressure on the mid-tier too. He was at least trying to force them back, and that's what he accomplishes with getting the puck back, but they still pick themselves up in Aegis, which might be gone very quickly. Already out of mana. Like TA2000, he's in trouble. They've got the tether, they have the relocate, and they'll get the kill. They'll take the Aegis immediately.
The rest of the team needs to back him up. Supernova is available. They're gonna relocate him out. Okay, this
Yeah,
is
that
pretty
was
massive.
really well
Nobody's
done.
backstabbing. DM.
Ooh, DM's in trouble, but he's pretty tanky. Can he survive and TP out? Nope. They've got themselves the Dream Coil, Mystic Flare, and the Ancient Seal, so everybody comes together to kill off DM.
At least they got something out of it. I can't really blame DM for trying to TP out. Birds were used. He thought, you know, they don't have many stuns available. Potentially resummoning the birds on Toby, or if they use Coil, Noob was in vicinity to do it. We talked about Noob having a great game on Puck, because, you know, it's...
Dire's middle
There's not much lockdown for him, but these two Static Storm were used on him. His mana got burned, the lowest net worth core at the moment, but still 0 deaths to his name, which is very important.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Manta not terribly far away from Yuragi. Despite the fact that it's a 2,000 net worth lead right now, I think that OG are in an okay spot, but not if they lose BZM here. Ancient Seal, Sunray on him, and they also lose Kid Track. Just about to say they were keeping it close, and their 3 cores had a decent amount of net worth, but losing heroes like that is really ill-advised, that's for sure.
They have so much damage, magical and physical, Solar Crest, Deso, Visage Birds, plus Sunray, which is maxed out. Kaori is level 10.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
And again, going for the same item build. Every single time I see this guy play Phoenix, same stuff. I'll pick up my shard and go straight into Hex.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely his standard go-to. But what do you do at this point? You're down 5,000 net worth. We've talked about Puck. If he gets off to the races, they don't have a lot of lockdown for him. And OG really even... Like, what's the best case scenario set up for them to come back into the game?
I think they want to farm on Terrorblade. Like, Terrorblade is the true carry in this game. Again, picking up Scotty against Templar Assassin, 5 range heroes, reducing the healing from Sunray, having extra attack speed from your IO. Like, you can carry the game on Terrorblade, no doubt about it. But you also playing into Puck, like you're gonna need to have lockdown. I want to see what kind of items BZM is gonna pick up. For now, it seems to be Dragonlance BKB, so he wants to also deal right-click damage. Might need Hex at one point to deal with this Puck that they really had troubles killing him. He's trying to set it up, but Noob.
Sunstrike
for the vision.
not
Bump to
gonna
dust.
land. Dust. BZM not committing to going in onto Noob.
Radiant's
Track
middle
losing
tower
his
is
courier
falling.
because I believe it got killed on the way coming through this tier 2 area.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
Dobby's farming a lot. He does have all these like small items, drums,
Yeah.
solar, phylactery. Now
Phylactery.
going into pipe, level 12 will resummon the birds. Double damage also available for TA2000 if he wants to pick it up.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Everything's
attack.
just kind of coming out right for the
Dire's
side
bottom
of
tower
quests.
has fallen.
And they're OG are kind of just putting their eggs in one basket and hoping that Yuragi can farm enough, but they go Static Storm, but look at that, Mystic Flare and the Ancient
Sunray
Seal.
keeping him
comes
alive.
in, and Sunray's going to keep Noob alive. The Pit of Malice is down, but it's not doing anything. The Dream Coil to try and turn this one around with TA2000 coming over. The Supernova's there, the damage is out, BZM is dead, but so is Toby. Seb falls, Yuragi taking out some familiars. Now the blink forward, they've got the Ancient Seal, it's onto the Terrorblade. There's the Deso shots, Manta Sunder. Kinetic
2000,
field,
he's
hit a
inside a kinetic
Malice,
field.
and he might be in too far and will be in too far. Great turnaround here for OG. Omar? He's not going to get out
Gate.
with this Fiend's Gate if they can get the stun, but TP away.
No mana.
Just TP.
He had no mana available for it, so in terms of trade, this is a relatively good trade because they killed 2 cores on quest. TA2000, I saw him like hesitating for a second, didn't want to join immediately since he didn't have BKB, just a recipe away. He farms that in like 45 seconds. But also showing that they can kill Toby. It took them a lot of time, and you see the power of Phoenix in the previous fight. Like, damage-wise, he almost dealt the most damage, and also the amount of healing that he did, keeping Puck alive during the Static Storm. Lockdown. Like, I feel like they will need a Hex on Invoker. For now, BZM is going for a BKB, but they will definitely need something else to keep them in place.
Double harm shall I do?
So 2K lead here for Quest to kind of dwindle down a little bit. But they're looking over at BZM again, and they'll get the kill onto the Invoker. At the same time, Omar's getting a Shard, which, well, killed the Scion. But losing BZM like that, it just...
Dire are scanning.
He is not having the game that he would have liked after that start that he had where he was 2-0-2.
Theory. Ease out of the map. See you later, nerds. How massive is this?
He didn't
What?
have TP, so...
Oh, okay.
Or
I
he
thought
didn't
he's
use
out.
TP.
They knew. They waited for him. My bad. Usually you see this type of a play and you're like, okay. And Kiri's like, help. So, keeping the steady 4 or 5k gold lead on side of Quest.
And that jumped right back up. Split up in farm. All right. That's what they've been doing. Almost has the Scotty ready for Yuragi.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But TA2000 picking up that BKB and going for that Shard. TA players love picking up the Shard. It's always nice to have that silence.
Could make a lot of difference in a team fight. Silencing Terrorblade so he can get Sunder, maybe no relocate out, jumping Disruptor before he can get a spell off. Now with TA2000 having BKB, seems like they want to take a fight. Testing things out to see how much damage it deals to Underlord.
Yuragi, Dream Coil. They're trying to get the kill here on a Seb. They've got themselves the Fiend's Gate. Now the Metamorphosis, they'll put some damage on a Toby, but there's the Supernova. They might have to focus their attention onto the Egg, but they can't. So they need to run. Static Storm committed. That lands on a TA2000. It pops the
Buyback
BKB
from
immediately.
Seb. He's coming in.
Seb's coming back into the fight and try and keep these heroes alive so they can chase. They get the kill on a Kid Track. It's going to be Noob who focuses his attention
Another
over
good
there.
Sunray.
Now,
3 of them.
Tornado comes through, hits on a TA2000. They've got the Rod of Atos as well as the Silence. They get the kill on a Seb once more. He already bought back into the fight, so he's dead for 60 seconds. Silence, Sunder, available. Noob goes into the phase shift and blinks away.
They're really good at taking a fight and disengaging. The only loss they have is Visage, but you can see them like resetting multiple times. It feels like OG is like, okay, we're gonna take this fight, and then Sunray comes on top of them. One trap, one silence. They can't chase anymore. Puck from behind, still 0 deaths to his name, as we mentioned. Puck having a really good time. Now going into Kaya's Sun, so some of these things are gonna last even less so. He can be the one jumping the back lines, finding a kill on Disruptor, or putting Io in a position where he doesn't want to be, so he can't use the relocate out. But you also see the power of Terrorblade Scotty. Against 5 range heroes, they're not moving. Plus Reflection.
The crazy thing is, though,
Tower is under
like,
attack.
Puck gets to have a game like this, and we called it out that, you know, he was the second pick. To not really have a counter for this hero, it got picked second, is definitely worrying when we were coming out of the draft, and worrying now when he hasn't died yet. So, setting up potentially for Roche again.
It's up in 20 seconds. They have a big item now. Crimson Guard plus Pipe on Underlord. I feel like this time OG wants to take a fight. They can't just let this one go for free.
No, they can't.
And also Kaori, he finds Philosopher's Stone. Does have Hex queued up, already Mystic Staff available. Sending out illusions into Rosh Pit, and they will scout it out, so they will know Roshan is available.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Rosh up. Let's see. Yeah, Philosopher's Stone, and he's already close to that ultimate orb too. He's gonna have it so soon.
If they initiate right now onto Roche, BZM is not gonna able to come top. He's like very low on mana, using this Ghost Walk to replenish some of that mana, but he's very
Static
low.
Storm, but look at that, almost two-shotting that Disruptor, but he's got the help from Seb, a little bit of the sustain that comes through. Yuragi gonna lose that Crystallis while this fight's going on. They've got themselves the Glimpse as well as the right-click damage on Toby, but the Sunray doing a lot of damage. They've got themselves the Silence. TA2000, he's got the Shard. So these traps are silenced.
He's also without mana.
Starting to pierce
Reload.
through this Underlord, and they'll
not.
get the kill on a DM. They still didn't get the kill on a Kaori, who's able to just Supernova and refresh.
As soon as they use Glimpse on a target, you know that Sunray is gonna come on top of that target, so they need to have a different plan. Supernova has been popped, but so has been meta. Look what Puck is doing. He's just being in their face, very annoying. Problem was they had no mana whatsoever on Invoker. He did get some back from EMP and also had to use the Great Healing Lotus. He wanted to regen it up with the Ghost Walk, but was forced to TP. At least they still have a tier 1 tower to TP to. And second Roche again belongs to Quest.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
This is putting OG very far on the back foot.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
TA also hits level 20. Meld Dispels, great against Bit of Malice, Disruptor's Thunderstrike, Cold Snap.
And they take the Aegis as quickly as they got it again.
Mostly.
They're going to go and try and kill off TA2000. Yuragi is in and moving forward. But it's not quite enough damage with the Dream Coil keeping them back. They get the kill on a set. They'll take out the Io, but Static Storm has the cheese. He'll survive a little bit longer, but not long enough. Tornado clips TA2000 on the edge. Sunder, though, Yuragi, he has to back up. They get the kill on a Toby, and somehow, I mean, they lose Seb, but they get 2 kills.
2 big kills. TA2000, he did not want to commit. He wanted to wait out, maybe use this Aegis for a next fight. He was also super low on mana, and Terrorblade now dealing some good right-click damage. Like, he stood his ground, was tethered to Io this whole duration. Underlord in the middle of them, reducing the damage with Atrophy Aura, Crimson Guard, also fighting underneath the tower, so providing some extra armor. What did he pick up? Ogre Seal Totem for Disruptor. Might keep him alive for a few extra seconds when TA jumps him.
Who's this going to be shard for? Hit track.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Is that shard good enough? I mean, it's free, so it doesn't matter, but do you like that shard at all?
There are definitely better. This is like, I don't know, D tier shard.
Okay. Is it better than
Yes.
Shield of the Sun?
Yes,
All right.
I know what you were gonna say. It's definitely better than Shield of the Sun.
He's also going Hex, by the way.
Double Hex, Blink Dagger also available. I mean, they will get it eventually. Philosopher's Stone on both of them.
He's got Hex on Phoenix, so I think that's new, and they didn't have that in the last fight, which would have probably turned it around enough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But cutting it down to 6,000 net worth, weren't able to win that fight with the Aegis in their hands. He said Yuragi might be able to carry this game himself, and now he's got a Silver Edge coming. Can he do so?
Yeah, Break Visage. That's the big one. He is the true carry in this game. I feel like Quest might be slightly on the timer. Even though seeing double Philosopher's Stone, it also means that their supports are gonna scale well into the mid and late game. I'm just a little worried for Templar Assassin. Her damage output against Terrorblade against Scotty Reflection, it's not gonna be easy. They will need to like play around Terrorblade and then deal with him the last, because they can't really kill him anymore. He's just way too massive, sitting at the, what, 2.7k HP, having Elven Tunic, so some extra evasion, and always tethered to Io.
E2000 nearby. Static Storm on the phase-shifting puck, but he's able to blink out of it. Now they've got themselves the glimpse. It's going to be on a noob, but it won't pull him into the kinetic field. OG can't quite put it all together.
Static Storm is the biggest tool that deals with puck. TP top, and they want to respond with it. Noob, coil available.
Yeah, they're really coming in. They've got themselves the Dream Coil.
They will burst him.
Got the damage coming in. Uragi's going to be in trouble.
Underlord's
He's kind of
coming.
left by himself, but they've got themselves the Fiend's Gate. Is he in trouble? He gets the kill, and Omar just turns and really shoots him down. Supernova up on the high ground with the Sunray being used, but they pop the egg. And now, as the rest of this team tries to TP out, it will do so and leave Quest wondering what went wrong in the fight.
OG's outmaneuvering them, even though this is a good attempt from Quest, getting a coil and then trying to kill Terrorblade, but he's super tanky. DM shows up, pops the pipe, uses Heaven's Halberd, Crimson Guard, and they go back through the gates. They didn't have any control left, so they really outmaneuvered them there, only losing Io. And also on the other side of the map, which I didn't see, they managed to get the kill on Supernova.
Yeah, it was,
Evokers, like his attack speed with Alacrity, he might even do it alone. And also, speaking of hexes, we did mention that BZM needs some extra control, and that's what's queued up for him, getting very close to it.
Yeah, BZM was dealing with the dealing with Kaori, who had the Supernova up on the high ground by the crystals, like right south of the tier 2 tower. BZM hiding within the Ghost Walk, haunting him. And in typical TA things, takes the Tormentor by himself. Gives a shard to Noob, so he'll have that phase shift, doing that extra damage. So, it's always nice to get a free shard like that, a little bit of an upgrade. Satanic next on the list for Uragi as well.
How do they bring him down? This is like 8k gold lead for Quest, but I want to see what the Dota Plus has to say about it. I feel like this might be like closer to 50-50.
It actually has OG leading 53-47.
It's like Terrorblade with the Alacrity, having Io behind him, all these damage reduction, all these spells that they can throw on top of Terrorblade to increase his damage. If he like turns into meta, you don't take a fight. Like you need to find a way how to move around and kill the others, because you're definitely not killing Terrorblade.
Top tower has fallen.
And he's just able to stand there like a turret, right? Like he's done it a couple times. You try to fight, you get too close, and then you're dead. You can't run away. Just feels like every time they've tried to kill Uragi, they lose 1 or 2 heroes. So we'll see if they can ever take care of him now that he's got that Satanic. Hex isn't too far away here for BZM.
Double damage bottled up. TA2000, Deso in the backpack. They want to take a fight. Has enchanted quivers, so that's like a guaranteed hit. Problem is you're playing into Glimmer Cape, Ghost Scepter from Io. That's why he wants this nullifier as fast as possible.
So they'll move as a unit towards top.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Towards BZM, but BZM TPs to the tier 2 tower. So they're not going to find anybody initially up in the top lane, but they are going to continue to come forward with the smoke.
They want to get a kill on 35 XP rune. Whoever climbs uphill, most likely gonna die. Can they catch a glimpse of Seb? But they need to silence him. Tether.
Ooh.
Seb gets away.
They see that smoke, though? They've got the Hex, now a Hurricane Pike built for this Terrorblade. Quest have pretty solid positioning at the moment. Pitamount's gonna come through, lands on a TA2000. They've got them Static Storm. Sunray, it's not gonna be enough this time. They kill off Noob.
And they had that little bit of control. That's through the Static Storm in the Kinetic Field. They go to the Fiend's Gate, but it's going to be down into the water. They've got Yuragi out in front, breaking this Visage as he sits there ready for a meteor to drop on him and a kinetic field's around him. Toby is dead.
All this lead that they had, they just can't do it. OG, they're running as 5. Same thing they did against Alliance yesterday. This is the power of their lineup. You have a supermassive Terrorblade that cannot die. They scouted things out in the Roche Pit. They have Gem to see traps from Templar Assassin. And BZM, he's the one hunting. Has Ghostwalk plus Hex. Might find TA-2000.
Radiant are scanning. Says. Radiant are scanning.
Scan coming in and not gonna land on anybody. Ooh, TA-2000 turns around. Boy. And now they'll find themselves the Phoenix, who goes into the Supernova, and BZM
Pops
will
the
just
BKB,
pop
making sure he gets the kill. No shenanigans,
Oh,
no
they got the
evasion.
Hex. It's onto the TA-2000. He's caught in a bad spot, but they've got themselves the Ancient Seal. They get the kill to Seb, so end up taking out this healing opportunity for the side of OG. But now with the BKB pop by TA-2000, he goes invis with a Silver Edge of his own and goes on the run.
Is under attack.
Kiori also using buyback. OG didn't commit with much. They used 1 Hex, there was no meta whatsoever, and immediately drawing on the minimap. Want to take that next Roche, this is the big one. Also, tier 4 items just got available. Let's see if they can find one before Noob finds one. What's it gonna be? Timeless Relic, of course.
Whoa, 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 they see him! Oh, Yuragi, no! Gets caught. This Ob Sentry in the middle of the lane. Oh, no.
This is massive. I mean, he was hunting them. Rest of the team, like Seb died, so he was not in that fight. Didn't have anyone behind him. Maybe with some like Hex pipe Crimson Guard would make the difference. Terrorblade does have buyback available. I think he might want to take a fight with the buyback. Not sure if they're like deciding it's a risky move, but let's see how OG approaches it. They're thinking, like you can see them moving forward.
It's just not quick enough.
It's gonna be too late.
I will say the impact these Aegises have had for Quest haven't exactly been a lot.
Yeah, the first one was where
Non-existent.
they were supposed to get like some extra 4, 5, 6k gold advantage, but he died off immediately. OG had a pretty good read on it.
So, Mindbreaker picked up for BZM. He goes into the 4 staff. But now you're dealing against an Aegis again. This is going to be really tough for OG to sustain through it. I mean, not a problem really for Terrorblade, but everybody else now has to deal with Cheese, Refresher, potentially 2 Supernovas if BZM doesn't just pop the egg immediately.
The 2000, he's smoked. Ninja gear available. Trax setting up some vision in the bottom part of the map, which is probably gonna get dewarded. It usually does.
Did Sky get to that Hex? No, he bought Ghosts up there. Okay.
They got all the right items, looking at the neutral items on them. Puck has Timeless Relic, Spell Prism on Scarlet Mage to lower the cooldown, and also Ninja Gear on Temper Assassin. Still yet to find 2 neutrals.
Recovery Midas for Seb. Potential.
He did that the other day. Like, he feels... I mean, can't really blame him. The first game went on for 85 minutes, so he's prepping for it.
It's definitely a good investment. If he gets it.
This is not even the end of the first halftime. 40 minutes only.
Yeah. What band do we have playing at the halftime show?
Nickelback.
Look at this graph.
Yeah.
Just pause the game, show the graph.
We're bringing on Nickelback. Great Canadian band. All right.
Look at this graph.
You happy with that one?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Thank you.
Age is still up and running, 2.5 minutes. No treads, no Hurricane Pike available for TA2000. He did hit level 25, plus 7 refraction instances. Was always wondering, like, how we think of some of these, like, 25 talents. Like, I think before it was 8, and then we nerfed it. It's like, how many do you want? Yes, just give him whatever he wants on that level 25. And now it's 13. So sometimes you have to go through 26 of those.
Oh, dude, look at the Alacrity Siege Creep doing work here. Oh, never mind. Big lift. It's over. It was hitting so fast.
I thought we were going to be looking at the graph again, the way you started it.
Oh, no.
Refresher Shard on Phoenix. So double ulti. Going for Refresher Orb off his own.
There's BKB next. For Uragi, he's got 6,000 gold saved up. Seb saving his gold, hasn't bought out on this Midas just yet. If he's gonna buy this Midas. Smoked with the ninja gear for Disruptor.
That's a big one as well. I mean, we did mention in the previous game. Oh,
ooh, Glimpse.
TA2000.
Forcing that BKB. Man, let me tell you, that is such a easy way to get BKBs. 18-second cooldown, just Glimpse from the furthest ways out. Force BKB.
You choose. You can die,
or
you can use a BKB. So it's pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah, basically. So again, it feels like this Aegis not really doing too much for them.
Yeah, stop picking it up. Don't go for Roche.
Yeah, Roche is irrelevant. We don't need 12 Roches like last game. But Uragi throwing his treads in his stash. Let's see. What does DM have? I feel like we haven't been focusing on what he's got. And he picked up that Heaven's Halberd.
I was thinking about picking up second Hex to have slightly more control. Now has Lotus Orb. Remove some of these Hexes, silences as well. Makes him super tanky. Yeah, like, I think both him and Terrorblade, if they're playing around each other, they don't die. Like, you know that you're getting your abilities off. Maybe even multiple of those. And does have Martyr's Plate.
So it has that. Martyrdom, which you can activate.
This will make him less tanky, but you also like gain that magic resistance, HP regen, and also having pipe of your own, so you're soaking up the damage.
But also Disruptor, 900 gold away from having that Axe. Oh, Noob. They see him.
Noob has 9-second BKB
Mystic
now.
Flare, Sunray, but Seb's gonna tether all the way over to Kid Track, goes and throws the Static Storm around too. But they get the kill to Kid Track immediately, and it looks like Uragi doesn't exactly want to fight this. He's been going back and forth, a little bit hesitant on going in, but pops the BKB. Supernova comes down. Now he pops the Manta. They'll get the egg. They'll take it out of the fight immediately. Now he's going to pop that Satanic, focusing on the TA2000 as well as Toby. They'll rip through the Visage. They get the kill to Seb, and now this Skywrath Mage is in trouble. The Ice Wall's on him. Toby, or Omar from atop the steps is surviving for so long, but eventually dies to the point where BZM ends up dead to Noob.
Noob is in the back lines, like he's
Noob was on the low ground doing whatever he wants.
BKB, and now 2-man coils.
TA2000 is going to come back. And they had the Heaven's Halberd coming through from DM. They'll focus their attention on the TA2000 now as, well, Toby bought back into the fight. Hit a Malice lands, Soul Assumption going to be avoided. They got the disarm out of the Terrorblade, so he's going to be chasing TA2000, who's got the Silver Edge, and he is invis. Vision on the high ground here for the side of Quest, but they're trying to take the fight elsewhere.
Halberd again.
DM is now in trouble. The Halberd
He's
once
isolated.
more, but Noob, he's here with him, and they've also got Toby, but they have Seb back into the fight with the tether as well as this heal coming through with that mech.
Ooh, this egg wasn't like placed perfectly. Needs to be slightly further away from Terrorblade because he's gonna focus him down. Either him or Invoker. They do have the attack speed, tether from IO, and then Alacrity Invoker. But Noob, he cleaned up. Like he just hit level 25 from that one. So Dream Coil pierces through debuff immunity. And also I was watching both him and TA2000. They're so patient with the BKBs. Like they don't want to use it early on. They know that other than this Hex from Invoker, there isn't an instant stun. Maybe things are gonna change now that Disruptor is only 200 gold away from Ags.
And Noob was on the low ground. I accidentally called him Toby, but he was like super patient watching the sky.
Yeah, newbie.
Taking a lot of attention and like surviving for a while to the point where Noob was able to take out BZM. Like the Ghost Scepter just proving to be such a solid pickup here for Sky. And he wants to go back for that Hex, maybe even thinking about getting an E-Blade later down the line as this game, you know, we're already 47 minutes into it. But it doesn't even feel like we're close to done.
Early game just finished. Now
laning stage over.
Yeah, this is mid game we're talking about now. Noob, he's gonna scale level 25. Puck, make it 26, going into overwhelming blink. He's gonna stop like this constant damage over time. They don't have any blink daggers, but it's very annoying to deal with these things, and also the extra slow. This is 6 seconds slow plus timeless relic, extra 20% debuff duration. That makes it like 7.2. So you're gonna be constantly slow. Visage Birds, Sunray slow if he's using it during Supernova. So that's gonna be quite a lot on the ground. Traps as well. Ooh, Roshan up in minute and 40 seconds. This is the fourth one, I believe.
I want to say Noob almost killed Disruptor's Courier with the Ags finish on it, but didn't get there in time. So now he's got the Static Storm with this upgrade, but
he got the BKB
Dream Coil, BKBs immediately. T2000 coming in for the side. They're going to use that Manta. Fine. Can they do anything with this? Supernova off to the side. It's out of its spot where they can't really get the right clicks on it. So that'll be used. It doesn't really do anything. They've got the Fiend's Gate going behind them, trying to catch these heroes on the other side. DM comes in, but they go north. So they avoid him. Pitamouse is going to be placed down, not going to land on any of the heroes. They're fighting around this outpost, trying to find the proper positioning.
Ooh, another coil available in 20. BKB 30 seconds. Also Refresher available on Phoenix if he wants to use another Supernova. We'll heal Noob for now.
Noob. Ooh, Pitamouse, they've got the control. It's on to Toby. They'll use that Terror Wave. Now they go to the Supernova. It's going to be right on top of Terror Wave, but he's got the kill the egg. They'll kill the egg. They'll take out Toby and Kaori. Oh, somehow Kidtrack survives with just a sliver of health.
They have way too many problems now that they need to deal with.
Kidtrack coming back around. Yuragi, Seb now going towards Roche. Noob going to TP away.
They need to let this one
Noob
go.
not going to TP away. He's going to TP to the tier 2 an area of OG side of the map. Push that wave in.
Middle tower is under attack.
Roshan respawning, 49 minutes.
This is
Nice play from Yuragi. He used Hurricane Pike on one of his illusions to scout out the bird that was standing on top of the hill. That could, you know, scout things out, provide some vision, maybe deny Aegis or whatever.
using that Terror Wave in the fight, having that little bit of an extension on the Metamorphosis. He got hexed afterwards, and, well, it looked like he might have not been able to kill off the egg, but popped the BKB, turned around, and just took it out after the Refresher was used by Kaori. So, I mean, that was a big start to the fight. And now they've got Boots of Bearing on Dian. They pick up the Aegis on Terrorblade. Cheese is there for the Invoker as well as the Refresher Shard. Noob just pushing in the tier 3, or pushing into the tier 3.
Cutting the creep wave, trying to buy as much time as he can. Yuragi has so much gold, sitting at 9,000 gold at the moment. BZM also 4,000 gold on him, has Refresher available. It's time to go and try to deal some damage onto high ground. Metamorphosis is available, so is Terror Wave.
Yep. T2000 just sitting here. He's got a lot of gold saved up as well.
DM has Gem, needs to be careful about it.
Pops the meta, takes the tier 3. Nobody pushing in on the side of Quest, but they're going to go in with the Dream Coil. They've got themselves a Sunray, but there's the Static Storm. Noob's in trouble. Sunstrike is not going to even be needed. Kitrak gets the kill with the damage coming in from the Static Storm, but however, this is now Yuragi without meta.
BZM was so quick with the Hex, and so was Kitrak with the Aghanim Scepter. Silence on top of Puck. Does have buyback available. They also have no creeps at the moment, but creeps are approaching.
Has Terrawave.
Dire's structures are fortified.
There they go with the glyph. They've got the break from the Silver Edge. Glimpse is only going to take Omar so far.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
And they'll take the Ceterax, but will they stay for more with no meta for a minute and a half? They've got the Alacrity, though, onto the Terrorblade, and maybe they shift over towards mid. They're going to smoke on the low ground with Yuragi standing towards the front. Pops that Manta, gets disarmed, had the Nullifier on him as well. Now the Alacrity is there, so they'll
Look at that damage.
Buildings very
He
quickly.
got Hex mid-air.
On a Kaori, and now they'll look over as the Sunstrike again not needed, but they go to the Dream Coil. They're going to buy back on both these heroes. Now the Terror Wave comes in. It's going to fear on TA2000. They look at Noob, pops the BKB, the Icarus dive once again. TA2000 trying to do the damage on a DM. Static Storm around on 3. Well, they're not going to be able to chase, but can they get back onto the high ground to get the damage out onto the side of Quest? That's the Supernova used. Eggs there, disarm onto the Terrorblade. They're going to have to force staff him onto the low ground. They get the kill to 7 as well as BZM. in 2000 trying to chase. Ooh, Nullifier thrown, but the blink away. Coming out from Kitrak, the TP out from Yuragi.
Alone.
And they need to leave, but DM, he's not going to be so fortunate. Isolated from the rest of his team and killed off.
These are very costly buybacks. Both Kaori and Noob did buyback in the previous fight. They also lost the tier 3 tower, but so did BZM. Like, this could be an opening for something. If they manage to kill BZM, he's their control, because it's the only Hex that they have right now. And you can see Puck, like, he needs to be careful. This BKB needs to come early on, otherwise he'll get hexed. The Static Storm looked really good, but instant buyback from Kaori, Supernova into Sunray, keeping them alive there.
So tip for Omar from Seb. 8,600 gold left for Yuragi, who didn't end up dying in that fight. He's got a bunch of surplus. Depending on what he wants to buy. He bought the Moon Shard and he ate that.
They planted some vision inside the OG's base. Underlord and Io both have buybacks, but it's 25 seconds. They might need to forfeit this one, or maybe Quest does not want to play as aggressive.
Dream Coil
said that, and they use the coil.
Landing onto the Terrorblade as well as Kitrak, but he's got Glimmer Cape, so they don't see him. And they only get the tier 3 tower.
So a lot of gold saved up on Quest. I see Omar sitting on 5,000 gold. Does have buyback available, so we'll probably save for buyback before purchasing the whole Hex.
Right.
Noob, he used his buyback, so
he
needs to buy, like, yeah, he's thinking about different items. He was thinking about maybe getting a refresher, but also wants to pick up Aeon Disc.
Yeah. Him and the Phoenix want to pick up Aeon Disc.
It's a good purchase, but then again, it might not proc. You might get 100-0 by Disruptor Ags.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility here, as they are pushing up even further. They are looking to maybe just push into the base, and if they can get one pick off on somebody who's already used their buyback, that could just be it. But we'll see. They might also want to wait for Roche, wait for tier 5s again. When was the last time so many consecutive games got
I don't think this happened, to be honest, because we had like so many. How many today? This is the 4th one, I believe. We started at 10 a.m. and now it's 16:28 local
it's
time,
10
Central
10:28
European
world.
time. Yeah, so that's like 6.5 hours for 3.5 games, let's call it.
Yeah, 3. No, you're telling me there's another 53 minutes. They go. Dream Coil. That's down. BKB. Noob sticking onto BZM. They go to the Terror Wave. It's going to fear anybody. It hits onto Toby. They've got themselves a Supernova. They're going to really bail on this because they can't hit it quick enough. Supernova explodes. Doesn't land on anybody on the side of OG. They've got themselves the Glimpse. They hit the Vision, but they won't be able to pull him back because he goes into another Supernova. So forcing to use the Refresher, forcing to use the
Another
Supernova
dive.
so he doesn't get glimpsed.
And he get it
go
off.
for Kaori. He got the Icarus dive away. The damage is not going to be enough. They have the Thunderstrike on him, but he escapes into the base.
They want to go. They know that there is no Supernova, no coil for 20 seconds. Quest will immediately get that glyph. Meta still up and running for a long period of time. Trying to slow them down as much as he can, but Terrorblade, he's going ham.
He just wants these buildings. He can use these illusions. He's tethered up to Seb. Seb keeping him healthy. They've also got the Alacrity. They go for the Sunstrike. They've got themselves this Static Storm on top of Puck as well as Kaori. And both these heroes are going to be in trouble. He gets the Aeon Disc off just barely. Whoa. This is
They're not
very
done.
far forward.
OG, they want to close it out here, potentially.
Oh, he has to be very careful, but silent as the grave for the moment is Yuragi just standing his ground with the Metamorphosis. They go to the Sunstrike. They've got the Hex on a Toby. They'll look
Here
to get the
comes
kill on the Visage, but
TA2000.
here comes TA2000 trying to put some damage out.
Disarm,
Toby,
load.
he's gone. Doesn't have buyback. They've also got the Disarm onto this TA, so he can't do anything. They have to watch as this Terrorblade just stands his ground
they
up on the
missed.
steps, and now the right
Disruptor
click's on
with
a Toby.
Alacrity.
And they've got the Terror Wave. They'll fear Toby up. They'll get another kill. He's dead for 2 minutes. Godlike for Yuragi. Now even looking over at TA2000 again as the bottom set of racks are going to fall.
Without buybacks, this is surely mega creeps, and like almost 2 minutes. They want to go. They want to close it out. Yuragi's just doing way too much damage. Alacrity, Tether, having Moonshard, attack speed is through the roof.
Doesn't look like they're going to have a way to stop this Terrorblade. You talked about it. He was the ultimate late game carry, and that's exactly what he's been in this game for the side of OG. They'll get the kill into Omar. They'll take him out. He's got buyback. Noob trying to do whatever he can to stall this game out. TA2000.
Static Storm, he's done so.
Static Storm, Noob's dead. 2 minutes gone. There's the tornado. Lands on a TA2000. They'll call GG pre-60 minutes, and OG keep their dream alive as they even up the series at 1 apiece.
Quest, they had the first 3 Roshans, but didn't manage to get the most out of it. OG holding hands together. This is what the lineup is all about. Play around your Terrorblade. He's the true carry. They can't deal damage. You could feel the power of this hero as soon as he picked up that Scotty, that they don't feel comfortable fighting into it. That also forcing some of the BKBs, forcing Supernovas with the glimpses at the later stages of the game. They just made Quest they put them in a difficult position where they couldn't fight back. Damage from TA2000 was mostly mitigated. Heaven's Halberd, Crimson Guard, these Ghost Scepters, Mech, Tether from Io, buybacks coming out, and you could feel the lack of control. And as soon as BZM picks up this Hex, fights are much more easier for them. You see Kaori using the dive, he gets hexed immediately. Puck, Static Storm, Aghanim Scepter, your items are not working, you can't use that BKB. As soon as they picked up these 2 items, the fights changed completely for OG.
You could see that it felt like TA2000 was just tickling them. He would stand his ground, throw these shots in. It felt like he's got a lot of farm. He's top of the net worth at points, but it just wasn't enough. Yuragi was the ultimate late game carry. And this is a great move here. I mean, it takes a long time for them to kill off Omar, and Noob just does work on a BZM, taking a spree out of his hands. Noob was doing everything he can to keep them into the game. But even at some point, it felt like the Dream Coils were inconsequential.
Yeah, I mean, power of Heaven's Halberd against range carries, and also Scotty against range heroes in general, is what can summarize this game pretty much. If this game has been dragged on for another 20 minutes, you would see 3 Halberds AC completed on OG, and then TA, she would not be able to do anything.
And you see this last fight here. I mean, Kid Track, he went right for the Ags. He saw the immediate impact of this item, knew what he needed to do by throwing down those Static Storms on top of the Puck and making sure to control the most important hero, which was Noob on the Puck at times. So you see Noob is able to do so much when that Static Storm's not on him. They kept disarming this TA, not able to put out any damage. They really didn't care about Noob once, you know, TA was kind of out of the equation.
Yeah, without Sunray, there's not enough sustain on their side. Like, they can't stay in the fight for long enough to deal damage. Supernova also a couple of times did get killed, like in the middle of a fight. TB usually not the hero that like wants to kill it, but when he's tethered to IO, having that attack speed, having Alacrity Invoker behind him as well, he's gonna do it. And the egg just melted in a second.
Yeah, there were a couple times where it was just BKB, melt the egg. I mean, even forcing out the second egg off a glimpse. Like, they really, the spell usage, the way that they held hands on the side of OG to make sure that they were in unison was really well done. And I picked MVP last game. You pick MVP this game.
For this one, I think it's Yuragi. He had like this one death that he died because he got hexed. Rest of the team unable to back him up. One in the laning stage, but he continued to farm up. Like, he had a pretty bad matchup that he played into Scarlet Mage plus Visage. It's a lot of kill threat onto TB, mostly magic damage, something that he struggles with, but he did the job. Like, he was all over the place. I mean, kill participation, almost 80% as a Terrorblade. It's not so much that he played as a team, like, they all played as a unit. They understood that they need to be around Terrorblade and Underlord so that they have this overwhelming damage, and they also have damage reduction so Templar Assassin can't deal with this Underlord or a Crimson Guard, which was dispelled later on by Nullifier, but still, you can feel the power. That's how they win yesterday against Alliance, and seems like this is the working formula for OG. So now 1-1. We had 85-minute game. We had 58-minute game for the third one, expecting it to go over 60 minutes, and now it's a best of one. So you better bring your best strategy into this one, and I feel like OG might go with something similar.
Yeah.
Adjustments for the second game, IO has to go.
Yeah, I agree with that, and we'll have to see what comes down and what gets drafted in game number 3 when we come back. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll see you guys in a moment. Stay tuned.
Have cheese for you.
Next one.
Yeah.
Ops. I kill it. I see them, by the way.
Get them both. Get them both.
Okay, on disc.
Okay, on.
Interact with me. Vista share. Guys. There's no shard.
Have cheese, space. Have cheese. And mech.
Need to kill TA.
Have cheese for you. And mech.
Visage, guys, no shard. TA is hitting.
I have cheese. He's halberded.
Glimpse soon. Visage.
I still have cheese.
Glimpse
Don't die.
Visage. Okay. Visage can die, guys. I'm in.
Still have cheese.
Get rocks. No man on me.
Okay. I will.
Every day for 3 years, a secret team met across Europe to hack one of the most technologically advanced cars in the world. Meet the Deloitte cybersecurity team that developed new state-of-the-art automotive software defenses, making the world safer for drivers, passengers, and pedestrians.
Welcome back to the Western Europe TI qualifiers. We've got a game 3 on our hands, and we've had 2 pretty long games so far, 4 long games for the day, and well, we're seeing if we're going to get another long one coming into the 3rd game, and it is win or go home, and well, both these teams are dying to go to TI, and you're not even there yet after a series like that. You still have 2 more series after this one, which has been such a back and forth to make it to that 2nd qualifier spot. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Like, they know what's on the line. Like, they understand the quest. The boys have not been at TI, so they want to get there, you know, in a convincing fashion. They dropped down to lower bracket. They played their hearts out throughout the whole year. A team that definitely deserves to be at TI. It's just that competition in Western Europe is fierce. It's just like so good. Every single team can pretty much make it. Like we can see in the qualifiers, Team Secret also dropped down to lower bracket, and it's going to be Team Secret waiting for you in the next round. But there's not much thinking right now. Oh, who are we going to face in the next round? All eyes on this one, because we just had like 2 really long games. This is 2.5 hours of Dota for just 2 games, and I don't expect this one to be any different.
Yeah, it really feels like, especially when it's game 3 with so much on the line, it does feel like it might be a little bit of a more precise game where, you know, the teams are going to be a little less willing to just move forward and go in. So we'll see what everybody picks up, what gets banned out in this first phase, as Gyro has been the first phase banned quite a bit. And that, as well as the Doom and Pango, get taken away, as that Pango was a big nuisance in game number 1 for OG.
Absolutely. Noob did so many things with Pango in first game, causing problems. OG did ban Phoenix in the first game, decided to play against it in the second, but still, even though they lost, Kaori caused so many issues for OG, especially in these earlier engagements. I think in game 3, you want to have late game secured, especially how first 2 games have been played out. Get something to have for the late game. Like Templar Assassin, she is like really good compared to how she worked throughout the Dota years. She's much better now with all the talents and everything. You can pick up the shard, eat your Aghanim Scepter, but still feels slightly slower. Like you don't feel the damage coming out because there's like multiple items that she wants to buy.
Right.
Nice camera angle, Toby. We just saw a bit of his forehead. Just the hair.
Just the hair. That's it. Ooh, what an old school, or well,
Invokers.
Old school, the Ordu Thunders.
Invoker and Io are in the pool. I assume OG's gonna grab one of them. Oh, there's a...
Immediately
there's another
Shadow
one.
Demon. Whoa, that was an insta-pick.
I believe they're undefeated with Shadow Demon. Last time I checked, yeah, their Puck plus Shadow Demon combo was undefeated. Puck did lose in the previous game, but Shadow Demon is still up there. It's also Kaori's one of better heroes. Maybe prepping for potential illusion carries coming out, and also having this anti-carry. Like everything about Shadow Demon is anti-carry pretty much.
Yeah, well, Yuragi was the winner of the last game, so definitely when you want to take him out of the equation, that's not a bad pick to go for, right?
Yeah.
Trying to be anti-carry.
Still, like 2 of these big heroes from the previous game, Invoker, and also have an Io. I already see Vengeful Spirit. I could see OG playing pretty similar to how they played the second game, how they played against Alliance, to group up together, have these auras, Solar Crest, healing from Io, Alacrity, and then have DM buy some auras, or play Legion Commander, Dawnbreaker, these type of heroes that contribute a lot to a team fight and makes them something that makes them unkillable.
So Brew, Beastmaster, Treant, Phoenix, getting rid of Kaori heroes with the Phoenix and the Treant. Beastmaster, Nature's Prophet, leaving Dawnbreaker in the pool. At least for now.
Radiant team ban.
I mean, these
This
two
also-
teams playing for...
Yeah, I think what Toby wants to play in this one, probably Lycan. Most of his heroes got banned, but since they are making adjustments, and I see OG, they're also giving respect to Omar's Rubik. First game, some of these swaps were really on point, like counter swap to swap people that have been swapped, and then him not dying, and also whoever got initially swapped also not dying. Toby's talking, and they're also talking to Toby. But for now, going to be Mirana for Toby. Oh, sorry, for Omar, even though there was a time where Toby, like a couple of months ago, when Toby played offlane Mirana, I don't think this is the game for it. I don't think you want to experiment as much. Most likely it's just going to be Omar, have a good setup, roam around with Shadow Demon, get those kills going.
So, having that combo ready to go. See what they want to put with that. As OG, they go back to the Underlord for DM.
I think I think you should run it back. IO, Invoker, plus Underlord. You have control. Maybe you don't have like this instant stun again, but you'll have really strong 5-man.
And there's the IO. Yeah. So IO, Underlord, Venge.
They're also prepping for potential Lycan coming out from Quest. This has been Toby's go-to hero because they know what they're picking. Like they just picked Underlord, and I don't know if you want to get Lycan. Sure, like there's some way to play around if you're isolating Underlord and then dealing with those two supports who don't have any ways of like dealing with the summons.
Back to the Naga Siren. And they didn't ban the Lycan this time around. Still, Dawnbreaker sits free to pick for Quest if they want it.
5 seconds remaining.
I know that OG's not afraid to pick a hero because they showed it yesterday, picking up Luna into Slark, which is not the greatest matchup. So I want to see if they want to hit an earlier timing with hero, maybe like Sven, who can farm super fast, and then they group up and not allow Naga Siren. But then again, you're putting yourself on a timer. So we might see, I don't know, Medusa again. There is Shadow Demon on the enemy side, which kind of shuts it down. But I've also seen teams pick it up. They're like, okay, Shadow Demon will kill Shadow Demon, and our Medusa is going to do good. So, also, there's one hero left in the pool that is not Invoker, that they could pair up with IO, and that's Storm Spirit. Just to have something, and it's also like BZM is a beast on Storm.
Ooh. Now they're the ones you got the Invoker in that pick, getting Toby ready. He seemed pretty happy with that pickup.
Also, BZM likes to play Void Spirit into Invoker. He thinks it's a good matchup. Because you can like CS nicely, have like you build into damage, you cut into backlines. Why I'm saying Void Spirit is, again, not enough lockdown on their side. You have Shadow Demon, Disruption, like some Arrow. Naga Siren also going to be set up for Arrow later on, maybe even Tornado.
So let's see what this last pick ends up for OG in this phase. It seems like there's a lot of thought. Now you know you're going up against an Invoker, right? Like, potentially, you get the proper matchup for what you want. I like the Void Spirit from BZM. Like, I like the idea that you said, and having that extra lockdown. You've got Pit of Malice, Magic Missile. That's it right now in terms of control.
That could be that. Could be...
This time they go to the puck.
It's the same matchup as in the previous game. It was just going to be the other way around. Something to tie them together. Maybe they also wanted to help. I mean, Void Spirit, I think it also fits what the hero wants to do. Wants to jump the backline, kill this Mirana, keep them in place so you can deal damage. You will have swap for coil, so you can like kill someone, isolate them from the team, and then also stun them. So that's going to be pretty potent. OG banning out that Dawnbreaker. There's the Sven that we mentioned if they wanted to play the tempo.
What else do you want to ban here? Do you want to get rid of that TB? Are you okay with them picking it up, having the Shadow Demon?
That's why they opened it up, I think, to have their illusions of their own, plus having Illusion Hero and also shutting down some of these illusions. I think Shadow Demon is much better against Medusa than he is against Terrorblade, so I could still see them banning out TB in this one.
Right.
If there was no Shadow Demon in this game, I would say it's a pretty good, like, Ursa game, Battle Fury carrier. It's just that SD ulti destroys him. He doesn't get to deal damage. Also, Ursa plus IO is a different beast.
Would they ever think about going into, like, Slark for OG?
Good. Not a bad one. Like, you need to care about, what, Invoker spells? In terms of AoE, you might get Radiance later on. It's been a thing, you know, some like Soul Ring Radiance build that was popular a while back on this Slark when he was playing into PL. Sorry, what?
And I just said, would you build Radiance if they've got the Shadow Demon?
Yeah, I don't think people care too much nowadays about it.
10 seconds.
And we'll ban Medusa in the end. It's just a super strong carry, and we'll go for Luna.
Asked for this, yeah.
I wanted to see it. It's like not a hero that deals well with the illusions, but it's also like 2 items on Luna against 2 items on Naga Siren. This last pick from Quest, it can't be anything greedy. I feel like this needs to be able to match the tempo of OG.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's see what this final pick will be for the draft.
Could be something like a Legion Commander, maybe, just to have a Dispel mechanic, but you also might want to get some Aura Builder. They don't have much time. This is 10 seconds we're talking about. All the time has been burned already. Urshira. Okay. Toby's ready to go.
So,
instant stun against Puck. That's what they've been lacking. I mean, it's the hero that doesn't like need levels. The hero can fight all the time. Again,
right.
It's pretty similar to what OG did when they played against Alliance. If this game drags on, I feel Quest takes it. It's just, is OG going to be able to like outmaneuver them, how they did in the second game, and also like choose the fights, hit the timing, because they want to have like 2-3 items on Luna, 2 items on Puck, DM with his mech plus pipe this game, and then they just go in together. You take one fight, enemy bites back, you're clearing their tier 3 towers, then those bounces from Luna gonna hit. I do like Quest's draft, but I also seen OG win with this type of a draft, which is gonna hit slightly earlier timing. So I would say this is 50-50. The way OG played, they really convinced me that they can play this strategy.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. I mean, 50-50 is as good as it gets for game 3 with so much on the line, right?
Yeah, I also want to keep it balanced. You know, game 3, we had the 2 really long games, and now it's time to go. Kaori getting the hero that he wanted, TA 2000 again, playing his hero. I think all members pretty much on Quest got the heroes that they wanted. It's just how strong is this lineup with all these heroes together, because they're playing their signature heroes.
Yeah, so we'll get into game number 3, Quest against OG to finish off the series. You know what's crazy? We still have another series after this, which is going to be a barn burner as well. But, you know, we'll have to wait potentially 80 minutes on this game. Because definitely when things come to a game 3, sometimes they slow down. But saying that, it was game 3 of OG Alliance, and they played a very fast tempo.
It was one mistake from Alliance, and suddenly OG with this exact same type of a draft managed to get advantage and then just snowballed out of control. Ran down the lanes. 'Cause this lineup doesn't rely on any cooldowns. Like, you misuse your song, you misuse your Echo Slam, you don't get the kill, they're gonna out-heal you. They also have global presence, a bit of it, with Underlord's Fiend's Gate, relocate so they can go back to base, heal up, and come back and take another fight.
We see any first blood. It was Kid Track who died last game on first blood. Well, doesn't look like anybody should die, but they do have some eyes on Kaori, on the Shadow Demon. And we'll end up being two apiece.
You're a beautiful person.
Tier 2000 tried to go for the deny, illusion expired. Again, not enough damage in the lane to kill OG's off lane. Same lane that they played in the previous game. IO plus Underlord, a lot of sustain. DM starting with 2 gauntlets, which makes him super tanky. Also, damage output from Nagasaran early on isn't the highest. So OG's off lane should be good.
What's the killer lane? I know I love asking you that question, but what exactly is the lane that
Top lane for sure. This is gonna be where first blood happens.
I'll keep my eyes top. Sit my camera there. Make sure I catch it. And with this last pick of the Earthshaker, do you think it was a good enough last pick overall?
I think they have limited options, knowing Toby's hero pool and also what was left. They left his Lycan in the pool, but also they did not want to pick it into what they got. So now they need to go with Earthshaker. I think it's an okay Earthshaker game, having this instant stun against Puck that we mentioned. Once you pick up the Blink Dagger, Luna, Illusions, also OG, they want to group up, so that means like Echo Slam is going to be there. You can also stop them from going high ground with one Fissure, block them off completely. By the way, back in my days, that was not allowed. I don't know if you're aware of it, Toby. In trouble. Like, you couldn't block it. That this was illegal move.
Like illegal, like...
Yeah, you can't do it. You couldn't, like, buy 2 mechs. Like, you could only buy 1 Necro book at the time. Like, there was no restrictions in the game. There was just, like, rule that tournaments did have.
Huh. Well, these days, not the case.
Yeah, back in the days, you also couldn't buy Blink Dagger on Pudge, Blink Dagger on Vengeful Spirit, because you could, like, blink into trees and block people off, so they would be stuck there, which was also considered illegal.
Thank God the rules have changed.
Yeah.
Man.
That was one of the
You're
biggest
talking about
changes.
these old rules, making you sound like a, you know, get off my lawn old man.
You're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful person.
One of the biggest changes, like back in Dota 1 days, 648B, Blink Daggers were canceled by when you take damage. Before, you could blink out instantly. Like, you take damage, you don't care. You're just like, okay, I have Blink.
What?
Yeah, it's the way it worked. That's why we have balance patches.
Just blink. Okay.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
All right, everybody giving BZM a tip. Man, I'm dumbfounded by all these rules and restrictions. You imagine?
I'm sure there were a bunch of them. It's just that I don't recall most of them now.
Were you not allowed to hit creeps with Fissure at any time? Like,
No.
in the
that
middle
you
of a
couldn't.
team fight, and then
No, you
Fissure
could.
goes
Of
down,
course
hits
you could.
creeps.
Stop the game. You're eliminated. Get out of here. The fissure hit the creeps. That's not allowed.
It's just like
Read the sign.
stopping them from moving, like stopping the creeps from moving was also not allowed. Like, you couldn't do that.
No body blocking?
Body blocking was okay.
Okay. As long as that.
Are you even listening? Illegal versus legal. You had to know. All right. Back to 2023. Things have
Current day.
changed. Yeah.
The graphics look so much better these days. Man.
Also, numbers written on everything. It makes the game much easier. Underlord CSing completely uncontested. As you mentioned, this bottom lane doesn't put any pressure on him whatsoever. And they're also farming the small camp, maximizing the farm. Kaori is going to steal one of those. So is Seb.
Ooh. Why not take one? Taking a look back over towards top. Couple of denies for the Earthshaker, but he's not really CSing that well. 11-3, now 12-3.
Puts the second point in Enchant Totem to have some extra damage, but you don't have this setup for Fisher. Omar still saving 2 points, deciding what he wants to go for. This Sacred Arrow did secure him a couple of range creeps.
Seb, by the way, moving over towards mid to heal up BZM. And he's got an empty bottle. BZM would love to fill that up. So 4.5 minutes in, yet to see first blood as bottom lane, like you said, it's uncontested. Top lane, thought we might see a kill earlier, and maybe we do right here with the magic missile flying out, but Enchant Totem stopping Yuragi, and they also had that leap. Get some distance out there.
First.
So things staying relatively quiet as that bottle goes into the backpack for BZM, considering he can't get it filled up at all.
No one dying yet. Let's see if he can dodge EMP. He cannot.
So now he's
Tornado?
completely out of
Whoa.
mana, and the tornado, ooh, turnaround with Seb coming over in the tether. Waning Rift silence, but able to get back to the tier 1 tower and stay alive.
I think a lot of players would try to go
Arrow.
and grab a kill anyway. Arrow did hit.
Top lane. Got the Enchant Totem, Yuragi getting low. Yuragi falling to Kaori with that Shadow Poison. Pretty good combo there as they had Kaori come over. They use that disruption. They land the perfect arrow and get a kill onto the Luna to start the game off.
Nice move from Kaori. He understands that bottom can't really touch this Underlord. So leaving some solo XP. 48,000 makes a move. They get the kill. And now trying to go for another one. Omar even puts a second point in arrow. Wants to lower the cooldown on it. Increase damage.
Avoids the tornado, but now they've got the tether. EMP uses that illusory orb to jaunt away. And the 6-minute rune is a regen top that will be picked up by Noob.
He's pretty happy about that one. We'll go back to full HP, full mana. 1 value point in Exort, so he can de-push the wave, use Meteor in the mid lane. Omar with the arrow.
Benj is going to die here. It's just a question of to whom, and it will be to Toby. So, just getting a couple kills around the map. Not really having that early presence here for OG just yet, as they were able to leave TA2000 alone, like you said, and that means they really do have that potent combo of the disruption and arrow.
XP rune.
What do you?
About to be picked up by Omar. They're going to be moving around together a lot. This is also, have in mind, something that we didn't mention. Shadow Demon has been one of the best counters throughout ages against Luna. Terrorblade with reflection, because everything works on those reflections. Like you get the aura, you get Moonglaives. Shadow Demon is also that hero. Like Luna super farmed, uses disruption on her plus Demonic Purge. You can get the solo kill. You can always get the farm. Luna will be like pushing the waves with Manta style. You create illusions of those illusions, and then you get the farm.
Right. Bottom lane, Pit of Malice, it's down, but Noob's here. Made the rotation to get the kill on a DM. They were thinking about TPing in another one. They don't even need it. So it's now 3-0 in favor of
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
and DM was leading the net worth and still kind of is. Sunstrike, while he's not in the lane or the area, which will help them get the kill on
Not a
Kid
good
Crack. Made
trade
it
for them.
4-0, but then 4-2 as BZM counters it around with 2 kills of his own.
At least Kaori picked up Arcane Rune, which Puck would definitely love to have. They kill Venge, but they lose 2 of them, pushing Puck closer to level 8.
And pushing him to the top of the net worth. So, ends up getting that bottle refilled now that Kitrak had died, comes in from base, and immediately they smoke up. They want to make a move, potentially over bottom, to get the kill on the TA2000, who's still feeling confident enough to just sit in the lane. So, they wrap around, and they'll try to find the availability to go as TA2000 kind of falls back a little bit, doing some good juking.
Where's he gonna go? No point in Song of the Siren. BZM.
No jump
like
from
he doesn't want to
BZM.
chase. Yep. No Dream Coil available, and TA2000 will TP out successfully.
Man, that was really well done. Kind of feeling the presence and maybe getting a glance there as TA2000 was able to move around and avoid that gank. So going and getting the Midas first, and meanwhile Yuragi, he's going into the Dragonlance and then that Manta style.
I think Naga Siren on a Radiant could be slightly better because what hero wants to do, like you want to have extra mana. You're not tanking with the HP compared to like some Sven who wants to have extra HP regeneration. So he's mostly played on Dire's side, having this, what is it, Mighty Minds, extra HP regeneration, while Naga Siren gets from the Vicious mana regeneration.
Do you think that those should switch with updates, like swap sides?
I don't know. It's a cool addition. Oh, Arrow misses.
Good phase shift. Arrow misses. Now they've got the Dream Coil. It's down onto the Invoker, who's out of the tier 1 tower. The Fiend's Gate is there. Deafening Blast thrown out, and does hit onto the Underlord. But he doesn't need to right-click you when he has the Firestorm over your body. So, back to bottom he'll go. Good movement there from OG to make sure that they didn't lose the puck, and then also helping him out with that Fiend's Gate and the turnover from DM.
Also getting the kill. Yuragi is farming. Looking at the stack, there's gigantic stack of Ancients in OG's triangle, which Luna is gonna farm later on.
Omar, noob. Gonna get a kill here onto the Luna. Yuragi's been pretty much free farming, except for the one death that he had, but the Tornado comes in, and the Arrow's gonna be right behind
immediately.
They can't get it off,
Good
but
banish.
Relocate,
Nicely done by Kaori.
yeah, means he can't tether, and they're still gonna get the kill into Yuragi anyway. That was really well done. The Arrow may not have landed, but they also have Kaori there, and they're also gonna find this IO and get the kill on a Seb.
So now Earthshaker does have Blink Dagger available, Echo Slam as well. Slowing them down with like each one of these deaths. OG's draft, like it's very tempo based, so what they want to do is get those 2-3 items that we mentioned and then group up, go together, take the towers, and just move as a unit. Same thing that happened in the second game when they played against Alliance yesterday. BZM trying to set things up in the top lane. They don't have Relocate, they don't have Fiend's Gate for a couple of seconds.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
BZM going Blink Dagger after this Witchblade. Dream Coil committed, Illusory Orb, Fiend's Gate, Kaori coming over. He'll have the Disruption. The Magic Missile's not in time to stop the Disruption from hitting the puck. Arrow eaten by Kitrak as well as the Tornado. Swap to get away from these heroes. Now the Illusory Orb, Kaori's in trouble. He'll be the first one to fall to Seb. The tether's onto Yuragi, thinking about going in for more. But Noob will TP out, and the leaps away from this Mirana means Omar escapes as well.
Using global presence that they have, Fiend's Gate to Relocate about to be available in 10 seconds again. Noob immediately goes to the mid lane, tries to get some pressure on the tower, but Toby didn't use anything in the previous fight, like no Echo Slam, so they did show that Blink Dagger is available.
So, Venge going Glimmer Cape. Looking at DM, he's got that pipe, playing that aura builder, playing that sustainer, especially with the help of Seb, who's already picking up the mech
Dire's top tower
and has that mech.
It's such a good
Radiant's bottom tower
pipe
is
game.
under attack.
Playing into Earthshaker, Invoker, Shadow Demon.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Both offlaners getting tier 1 tower killed. And now they're gonna smoke. Quest want to use this Blink Dagger, get at least 1 kill from it.
Yeah, try to debut it and get something out of the first movement. But they've got
BZM.
Coil. It's on a
Bounty
TA2000.
2000.
And they've got the Firestorm. They'll get the kill. The smoke movement's a little bit too late. But Noob's coming over. Blink, Echo Slam, as well as the swap of the Fissure lands. He's on the backlines, goes into the phase shift, turns it around on the Noob. Trying to get this kill. Will do so. Kidtrek's got the credit for that. And Toby's in no man's land. Magic Missile as they look for a high 5. And they will get a third, taking out Toby. All 3 cores on the side of Quest Esports dying in that fight.
Like Earthshaker, he finds an opportunity, jumps puck, but they're ready. They have mech pipe, swap, damage reduction, and will steal enemy XP
And throw a
rune.
ward down.
Plus throw a ward down. This is the strength of their lineup. Right now, Yuragi still doesn't want to join. He's farming, going for Manta style, into Dragonlance. Then he picks up another one, either a Butterfly or a BKB, whatever he feels like he needs in this one. But you can feel that there is, like, team fight. They're super strong. TA2000 still doesn't contribute much to it. Maybe Song to try to reset things. But he was the one who got caught first.
Right. So all that time, DM just continuing to farm. He's going into the Lotus Orb. He's top of the net worth, keeping up with TA2000 with Midas, but that's going to change in a little bit probably,
Is under attack.
especially once that Manta is achieved. But Yuragi's been free to do whatever he wants for the most part as well. These 4 cores at the top are pretty farmed, and now there's a big stack being taken by Yuragi.
A lot of stacking. Sebastian, 8 of those stacked. DM, he's not stacking. He's you know, just chilling in the lane, being unkillable pretty much. Gonna take them a while to clear those, but at least Lunar Blessing is maxed out. Moonglaves as well.
Radiant's bottom
Pops the
tower
Manta style immediately. It's a big chunk of gold. Might push Luna to the top of the net worth.
Let's see, Dream Coil, by the way. Invoker caught again. They've got
Doesn't
the swap.
snap it.
It won't snap
It's still
it,
enough.
but they still get the kill. Yeah. That's definitely the idea. Ooh, Echo Slam. There's the kill on a BZM. At least a good exchange. If they don't lose Toby, they need to catch vision.
They
on
have
him,
no
which
sentries.
they
Kidtrak
don't
did
have.
place. There's the Underlord who has dust, but he was out of range. Nice Moonlight Shadow. Toby is gonna farm it. This could be,
Dire's
you know, a disaster for him. Vengeful Spirit was there, maybe a different timing. She wants to stack the camp with Wave of Terror, hits him, gets stunned.
And when that swap hits level 2, it's going to be much easier to snap that coil. Obviously, a fun little combo. Yuragi not quite breaking the top of the net worth. And TA2000 has his courier ready at the secret shop, which is not that much of a secret.
Yeah, maybe we should change the name of it. Like every
It should be
single
called-
player
it
that
should be
plays
side
Dota 2 actually knows where the shop is.
It should be hidden. You should have to dust.
It should,
to
no,
be
it
able
should
to
be
pick
like
anything.
randomly placed. So you can't find like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't buy my Radiance, can't find the secret shop.
But you just dust and like it appears out of nowhere. And you're like, oh, this is cool. It's such a secret. That would be actually a secret shop. Like they call this the secret shop. It's there like a Starbucks. It's on the corner. Like, you know it's available. Why?
We milked it.
BKB. Yeah, it went too far. BKB available for Toby soon as he's getting that gold, getting that farm. But you can see the difference between the top 4 and then the next 4. Like, it's actually so crazy how all 3 heroes on the side of OG are kind of just keeping up, and the difference in net worth is probably just the difference in supports as well as, like, all 3 cores on OG, though, having about a 1,000 net worth lead or 2,000 net worth lead on their main opponents. Except for, of course, the Yuragi and Naga combo.
Some of this comes from stacks. Luna now maxing out Lucent Beam. No points in Eclipse yet. Still want to get like other spells maxed out for Eclipse to be efficient anyway.
Radiant's middle tower is under
There's
attack.
that Lotus Orb for DM. So Lotus Pipe, like, he's just farming up. He's ready to be the help that his team needs when they get into these fights, and he's going into the Shiva's Guard next, so I mean, even more for him to do in these team fights once he picks that item up. Invoker, Noob, having a little bit of a struggle, but has the Spirit Vessel, only 1 charge on it, and trying to get into the BKB as quickly as he can. And so is Toby, which he's not too far away from.
I feel these Echo
They'll
Slams...
have that, like, double BKB timing.
Yeah, the Echo Slams are going to need to be on point. Like, hit multiple targets.
Is under attack.
Aftershock is maxed out. He also deals a lot of right-click damage. Has Orb of Destruction, Enchant Totem maxed out, plus level 10, 40 base damage talent on him. Underlord, solo pushing the tower.
Closing out that Watcher. And now Yuragi's there to help. Easy damage, easy tower. Yuragi trying to get himself a Hurricane Pike. Bunch of things on the ground. There was a Mango and a Salve just on the ground. Looks like Omar was starting his own store, competing with the secret shop. And instead the courier dies
Discounted
with
items
on it. Oh my gosh.
If you buy these 2 together, I'll give you 20% off.
Ooh. Now buy a stack of tangos instead of just 1 tango. Give you a discount. Hurricane Pike. Took it too far. Picked up here for the Luna. Has that Gossamer's Cape too. You love this item.
Oh, everybody loves that item. I saw Kaori picking it up. So, because you can't get hit. Like, it's move speed, what heroes want to have, and also the miss chance.
Yeah.
It's also on low cooldown, so that's pretty big. See, managing to blink out because those illusions didn't hit him. And now farming with Luna's illusions. That's pretty massive.
That's where you get that good gold. But that blink dagger, he's gonna want to get a Glimmer Cape afterwards, try to keep his team alive. We saw how important it was when they had the Glimmer Capes in the first
Roche
game.
time for OG. They do have the damage, they do have sustain. Quest probably knows that something like this could happen in the next few minutes, but it doesn't seem that they want to contest it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Take this route.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Easy Aegis, but top's getting pushed in a little bit.
They can go through the gates, they can go with relocate, so still getting some farm on the map while the rest of the team is there maybe defending. Puck, again, if he's not getting Echo Slammed immediately, they can't really catch him. We saw also if Disruption plus Arrow doesn't connect at the right second, he can phase shift it off.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is
Team's
under
just
attack.
been sitting around this 1K net
Dire's
worth
middle
line for a
tower is
while.
under attack.
You said it was going to be 50-50. You said it was going to be back and forth, and you've gotten exactly what you asked for. Look at that.
Both teams...
347, basically 50-50 round.
Yeah, we lie with both of these numbers. Kiori might get caught here.
Okay, Ori.
Oh, nice. Quick reaction.
Well done. Good blink, but Dream Coil, and now the Fiend's Gate, they really want Kaori. Phantom Alice, and an Illusory Orb is there, and eventually Kaori will die to BZM. Okay.
Is under attack.
All this time, Toby kind of staking out the top tier too. You've got Invoker, who's had some time to farm. They had the BKB picked up by the Earthshaker, and he's might be spotted and in some trouble. Or, wow, who is? Kitrak is dead to Toby. Oh,
That's a solo kill.
that was gonna happen.
Enchant Totem,
Oh
2
my.
hits plus Orb of Destruction, lowering the armor. Ketra gets deleted.
Yeah, he did. I was like, I saw that happen. I was like, oh, yeah, Toby might be in trouble if there's just a magic missile. And then all of a sudden, the health bar went from 1088 for this Venge to like 100.
Earthshaker
There's
does
that
back a
BKB,
punch.
so
BKB is also available on him.
BKB timing. What does Nagi have now? He's picked up that pike and he's saved a bunch of gold to go for the butterfly.
Wants to have evasion against Nagasaran. We've seen like the Nagasaran matchup in the first game
Is under attack.
when he was playing Medusa, also picking up that butterfly, and Nagasaran also going for butterfly of her own.
Behold!
Yori TPing and escaping. There's the Guardian Greaves for Omar.
Under attack.
When we're trying to play some vision down, there are quite a bit of sentries from both teams around and scattered in the mines. The bottom tier 2 is going to drop to Yuragi. No way for them to stop it when they're not there.
They have 2 minutes.
And
Seems
Yuragi
like that's going to be
instead.
the first high ground push. Toby needs to be there to either block them off, just like
Tornado.
use the Fisher. Arrow connects.
And the Meteor. There's the Fissure. Has Blink ready with
Gossamer
Echo, but
Cape.
Blink and yeah, Gossamer's Cape keeps him from getting hit. Sunstrike. Deafening Blast. Oi! Backlines. Uh-oh.
Arrow, not
Can they
the
get
right
there?
timing. Goes in between the heroes, but they did successfully stop the push from OG. I don't think they're going to go for the high ground without having Aegis, so probably going to farm, try to get that second Aegis, get one more item on Luna, maybe even 2 of those. Because Luna dies. Like, we've seen the power of Shadow Demon, Illusions, also setting things up for the Arrow, Sunstrike, Fisher, Echo Slam afterwards. So not going to be that easy to siege. I think Quest, they're in a good spot. Like, they have counters to Luna. They have Shadow Demon, which is like one of the better counters in the game for Luna. The stronger she gets, the stronger those illusions are.
It looked like maybe the backlines of OG wanted to go in, but at the same time they were dealing with some illusions and never really made the jump. They also saw the Luna die and could have potentially also been waiting for maybe Quest to feel confident enough to move forward after getting that Aegis out of the hands of the Luna.
Haste.
But there's the butterfly. MKB next on the list for Yuragi. Hex for TA2000. He's also got a butterfly.
Same story as game 1. Both of them trying to figure out, like, one guy's buying MKB, that's gonna be Yuragi to deal with the evasion, and Nagasaran going for Hex. Instant Hex against Puck, and also, because you're tanky enough with this heart, means that you will be getting multiple Hexes in a fight. Still a little worried for just Luna. You get Demonic Purged in the middle of a fight, illusions on top of you, you're not moving, so there's gonna need to be like swap, relocate out. A lot of these things that you can throw in her will be dispelled anyway. Like Glimmer Cape, Medallion, Soul, or whatever.
Sunstrike used on this Tormentor. Omar's gonna get that shard, so he'll have that upgraded leap. It's a little okay. A 5,000 net worth lead here for Quest all of a sudden.
Kaori is following where Luna is. Wherever there are Luna illusions, he goes in there, Glimmer Cape, Blink Dagger, and continues to farm that lane.
Yeah, he's got a lot of gold. The support's way more farmed on the side of Quest than they are on OG.
OG's getting out farm right now. What they want to do is run together, while Quest, they don't mind. They have Nagasaran, they have Shadow Demon pushing one wave. Earthshaker's been constantly in this outer ring, farming, then showing up in the lane, using Fisher and Enchant Totem, pushing it out, and then disappearing. Seb again, going for Hand of Midas.
Is it forcing OG maybe to have to make a move?
Next Roche, OG will definitely try to go for the high ground. All they want to have is Luna Aegis, have that extra life, have that extra sustain. Roshan, potentially in a minute and 30 seconds. So Luna will have another item, whether that's gonna be MKB or a BKB. One of KBs, for sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wisdom Rune available. Yuragi wants to pick that up. He's only level 15. That'll push him to 16, while Tia 2000 is almost level 20. So the experience difference is actually favoring Quest by a little bit.
Nagasar also not the hero that gets most XP, since you are farming a lot of these camps with illusions. Does have Hand of Midas. I think this is where the difference comes from. Also, Luna is tethered up to Io, so he's soaking up some of that XP.
Yeah. They do the Tormentor, they get Kitrak, his shard. That's going to be the magic missile now bouncing. He's just stayed relatively quiet while now Seb, he's got this Midas. His idea is BKB or Heart.
They want to scale. That's why they are. Oh, Echo Slam top.
DM? Yeah, they get a kill here onto the Underlord. And they just Moonlight Shadow and leave. Earthshaker buys out on the Ags after that. OG kind of losing a lot of control in this game. It felt like they were the ones who were controlling the map for a good portion. And now things got really quiet to the point where Quest, after stopping the Luna push bottom, they feel like they have control of the game and are really the ones putting the pressure on.
Yeah, I don't know if OG is going to be able to fight back. Like, we still haven't seen the power of their lineup. We haven't seen them 5-man strong, hitting together like a target in a full team fight. Roshan, minute and 20 seconds. Going to be on Radiant side. This also means that probably the third row is going to be on Radiant, which means Aghanim Scepter. MKB in the end for Yuragi, and they're gonna smoke.
Radiant are scanning.
Smoke to try and
Dire's middle tower is
make
under
a
attack.
fight happen. But who's going to take the better of the fights? DM can come in with the Fiend's Gate. He's going into the heart, but not going to be in the fight immediately. EZM going in, finds the silence, and now has the Dream Coil, but the BKB's been popped. He's got that axe to jump away. Pushing him away with that Psychic Headband, so got him some distance. Now they might be able to at least get Kaori. BZM's onto the backlines. He doesn't have a Dream Coil. He avoids the fissure that was thrown down with the phase shift. And they get that one kill. They don't lose anything on the side of OG, and Roche is up in 30 seconds.
Echo Slam in 10 seconds. No BKB on Earthshaker. He does have Enchanted Quiver, so his next attack is not gonna miss. Before, he had that on Enchant Totem, but it was removed quite some time ago. Had a True Strike available.
What year was this?
I don't know, 2021, maybe 2020.
Nice.
COVID killed my perception of time. Like, I lost 2 years, it feels like. You know, I'm younger in the heart.
You are.
I am, and there's not gonna be
for OG.
any. Yeah, there's not gonna be contest for this second Roche.
Yeah.
Aegis, Cheese, Sunstrike, maybe to scout things out, get the last hit.
But they're too late. Sunstrike too early. The movements from a team, if they wanted to come over, are too late. So
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Roche dead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Even the cheese out. Oh, only that second Roche. And ooh. Like Shadow used in Quest. Starting to back away. However, Yuragi and Seb, they're not going to run into Earthshaker. They know exactly where he is, though.
Network still keeps
over
increasing for Quest.
Yeah. TKB relocate already committed. The damage isn't going to be enough, and he has to TP out.
buying time, delaying this Aegis. Quest, they understand what they need to do. Constantly sending out these illusions to the mid lane, whether these are Luna illusions from Shadow Demon or just illusions from TA2000. Doing some good damage to tier 3 tower.
Look at all these illusions, so many of them. You can make illusions of your own illusions, and all of a sudden, you just really end up pushing.
They're going in
putting
again.
Anybody in harm's way. Look at all
Sending
these
some
illusions.
top, sending some mid.
Infestation.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kaori creating illusions of those illusions. Tier 3 tower down to half HP. This is gonna stop OG from pushing because they need to deal with this. Even though they have global presence with relocate plus Underlord ulti, they can't find any openings.
Only 19 kills in this game. We figured that game 3, especially with Illumination on the line, was going to be a little bit quieter. So, 7,000 net worth lead for Quest, but for the most part, it hasn't really mattered. That fight over bottom, even with the massive lead that they had, was, you know, OG was what we talked about in game number 2. Their positioning and execution was better.
Ooh, Toby might find something. They caught a glimpse of him.
Kaori. Oh my god, look at the distance of the disruption. They go to the Echo Slam, and they've got the Cataclysm. They get the kill on a Seb to start it off, and now Yuragi trying to get away. They throw down the Lucent Beam. As DM's off to the side, hit with the Fissure. They've got the Totem to jump on top of DM and get the kill there. As Kid Tracked, he's going to be falling as well. They took the Aegis out of the hands of Yuragi. He's popping the BKB and trying to run. Pops the Eclipse.
Double buyback.
There's so many illusions, and now they've got the double buybacks. Yuragi getting over to the side, but is he going to have enough? He'll eat the cheese and get back to full health. And Seb tethered up on him. BZM taking a lot of damage. They aren't quite getting these heroes low.
Song's still available if they want to
He's
reset.
able to stand his ground. Song, ooh.
Arrow
They've got
is available.
the lockdown,
Can they time it?
and the
Yes,
arrow.
they can.
And the kill.
BZM, buyback available on him as well. They did not lose anything in that fight. Toby finds the right opening, gets the kill on Seb, who couldn't use the cheese. Stun locks him from 100 to 0. And now they're gonna have another set of items. You also can see how much Shadow Demon is dealing damage to Luna just by creating illusions of her. It was Demonic Purge, not used on Luna this time, but most likely it's gonna be saved for Luna for some later stages of the game. If it comes down to later stages of the game, I see Quest knocking on their tier 3s.
Just going high ground.
30 seconds without puck.
It's also Shadow Demon able to use these disruptions and these spells from so far away. He's got Psychic Headband as well as the Aether Lens. Oh, Hex, Arrow, Yuragi.
No mana on him.
Yeah, he's fine. Kaori's got no mana. He needs that clarity to unlock in his inventory.
More illusions. And they're gonna start pushing. Tier 3 already gone. Tier 3 mid damaged. More than 2,000 HP. Quest are really in a good spot. I mean, OG, they were never 5, I feel like, in this game. What they wanted to do, Quest, they also understood that they need to split them up as much as possible. I'm looking at the minimap. All these dots, orange and purple ones, these are Shadow Demon illusions and Naga Siren illusions.
Very frustrating to deal with. I've never quite found the opportunity to have a good fight, and they're down 15,000 net worth.
There's always something pushing into this top lane. Range barracks. This is gonna get killed eventually. If they keep playing like this.
A prize.
These racks just getting pushed. Timeless Relic picked up for DM. He was taken out of the fight pretty easily, too. You've got this Ags on Invoker. He was throwing down the Cataclysm. And this is...
They're stuck in the
very
base,
far
not
from
where you want to be
yeah.
with this type of a draft.
Yeah, you really want to be farming here for Yuragi and his farm is not slowing down completely. Like, he's right there with the Naga Siren. The issue is, too, like, both supports on the side of Quest are getting so much farm out of it that they're really, you know, they're on 3rd, 4th items over here, and they're going to have Hex soon on Omar. You've got everything you really need on Shadow Demon. Now, he's got an Aeon Disc now. And he doesn't have to come close to really make these illusions. He's got such a cast range on it. He can do whatever he wants.
There's still tier 2 and tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, which they can kill with any of these illusions, at least the tier 1, which is going to open up the entrance, the another entrance to enemy triangle, and keep sending out those illusions.
The illusions that never stop. How long can you defend against it? It did feel as though in that last fight, too, Yuragi didn't quite have the damage.
Also, not enough healing. There was Spirit Vessel on him. Sure, Cheese did get him to full HP, but Mech Healing Lotus, it's definitely not. Also, Shiva's Guard eventually will be picked up by someone on Quest. They're drawing on a minimap. They want to take control of the bottom side. And again, range barracks, soaking up some damage. Of course, Shadow Demon picks up that.
Stops.
Ninja Gear, smoked, can't do anything about him. You use illusions, he uses it against you. They're going.
Back to the draft, you know.
Luna into Shadow Demon, and he just lost Barrack.
Boy. Yeah, it ain't fun, but there might have been other better options, but they felt confident with the Luna, something they did against Alliance yesterday against that Slark. They didn't play the same
Cataclysm.
pace. Okay. Cataclysm
BZM, A on this block.
BZM, Tornado, Ice Wall.
Omar is so good on Mirana. He just knows, like, whether we're talking about Shadow Demon disruptions, tornadoes, song he can't do it on his own because it needs to be TA 2000 that cancels it, but he's always there. So 60 seconds without BZM. This should be 2 towers for them. Kaori, again, in the top lane, TA 2000, farming the jungle, farming the mid wave, not allowing OG to push it. It's a slow and painful death.
Yeah, it really is. There's the refresher. Double Cataclysm is going to be available for the Invoker. They picked up the Hex on Omar. They're just, the items are really piling on for Quest, and OG don't have any answers.
They don't have to commit to anything. That's the best part of what they're doing right now. If you feel you're in trouble, Aeon Disc on Shadow Demon, some like Fisher, BKB and Chant Totem get out of trouble. This has to be like very sad for OG if this is the way that they're gonna drop out of TI qualifiers. Kill their dream,
especially
illusions, like they just knock you out. Tier 3 tower mid is gone, range barracks top gone, now both towers, and now this opens up the map even more. 84% win rate, that's what Gaben says.
Yeah. Especially with the way Games 1 and Games 2 went, for something as so quiet as this one, it just, that feels unfortunate.
Third Roche on Radiant side. That's Aghanim Scepter.
Time for Luna?
If they want, maybe, if they want to just like run it and try to get into one fight. So who's gonna pick up? I think you might give it to Shadow Demon. Have those 3 Demonic Purge, Demonic Cleanse charges.
They do give it to him, but he doesn't have the shard yet for Demonic Cleanse.
It's not
shard was given to
the best one. 3 charges on Demonic Purge is pretty big. Oh, it's 2. When did that change? I actually don't remember. Maybe it was too powerful. We nerfed it. My bad.
The ground.
Yeah, this seems balanced even more.
BZM, Pit of Malice, Dream Coil committed. Now they've got the Echo Sun that lands out of BZM. They go to the Cataclysm. The Andis is going to be popped. Kid Track gets the swap out. Magic Missile is going to hit on the Earthshaker as well as the Shadow Demon. They get the kill on a Kid Track. They'll take him away. Ags, by the way, finished off by the Naga Siren.
who's stepping forward. Lotus Orb reflecting, meteors coming down. Noob from the side has the Cataclysm again, and another set of meteors. BZM gonna be killed off by the Deafening Blast. They get the Kona Seb, they'll take out 3. They've bought back on the Venge. Toby trying to fight this Luna, who's hexed up thanks to Omar.
Fissure's available.
Eruption, and now Fissure,
Into arrow.
short. You gotta remember, it continues to control them right here and there. Uragi's gonna fall to Kaori. DM's gonna be in trouble. He'll die too. Everybody's dead. It was a full team wipe, but buybacks happen and the song is there. They look over at BZM. They've got the control on the Seb as well as Kid Track. They drop down the ice wall. There's the totem once more. BZM falls. He doesn't have buyback. They hit the hex on a Seb. They get the kill to Kid Track as well as Seb. And these heroes are falling by the wayside. Uragi throws down an Eclipse, but it's just not going to happen for the side of OG. The defense is not looking likely as DM's going to be dunked on by Toby. Hit the fissure on both these heroes. They've got the damage to take out the Underlord, and now it's just Uragi. And now it's just the base, because Uragi, even with the Satanic, the heal is not enough. They call GG, and Quest Esports will knock OG out of the qualifiers and move on to tomorrow.
Yeah, what a performance from them in this third game. Understanding that they need to delay as much as possible. OG try to go for high ground once, and you see how much Shadow Demon counters Luna in this one, using those ultis on top of him, using his illusions against him. This was just like masterclass performance from Quest. Really knowing what to do with the heroes, constant pushing from Nagasar in both mid and the top lane, and Kaori sitting there for like good 20 minutes, just pushing out the top wave, using illusions from either Nagasarin or Luna, killing off these buildings, some chip damage early on, and OG, they did not have answer for it.
Yeah, you know, OG, it felt like maybe they were getting enough farm onto Uragi, but it was the Shadow Demon to me who feels like the MVP, who was just using these illusions to push out to farm and make life a living hell for OG outside of their base. So it wasn't exactly the most bloodbath of a game, but it was precise from Quest. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they knew exactly how to get it.
Yeah, it was pretty surgical execution from Quest in this one. They really felt that they don't need to fight this, like, team fight was the beginning of an end, because they managed to get the kills, they managed to get like multiple buybacks out of them, but base is still intact. And this is where the rats started. This is where you started to send out those illusions and arrows from Omar that were on point. Toby had a really nice performance on the Earthshaker as well. So did TA2000. He's an expert on the hero. I'm coming into like tomorrow and the next day. I don't know if you want to give him this Templar, sorry, not just Templar Assassin, but also Nagasarin, because he really excels at the hero.
Yeah, he really just made it look easy. You know, the farm that he was able to acquire, the way he moves around the map, knowing when to be available and into these fights, and knew also in the Invoker, you know, he had a couple of deaths, but at the same time, like his spell usage, especially in this last fight, feels pretty pristine.
Yeah, man,
Toby
double Cataclysm. There it is. Like Luna just dying to her own illusions, and Kaori, his positioning in this game was stopped here. No doubt about it that he like gets the MVP for this one. Some like great spell casting, as you mentioned, in the fight that we're seeing from Noob, like Hex, Fissure from Earthshaker, and also Ice Wall to keep them in place. The fights here, the whole game is pretty much over for OG. Unfortunately for them, they had some like good showings in the TI qualifiers, but the boys will have to sit out on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he moves Quest a step further for some of these guys on the team, or I think all of them, getting their first TI. So, you know, now they have to go up against Secret tomorrow, and it's still a rough road ahead, because you not only have to then beat Secret, but you have to beat the losing team of Luna, Galaxy, and Entity. So it's still so far away, the dream of qualifying, but you're one step closer. And yeah, I mean, you take a look at this game, like Toby had an 8-1-12 performance. He played really well, especially once he picked up that Ags. But like you said, I think Kaori definitely the MVP of this one.
Absolutely. His positioning was extremely good, knowing where to be, saving people, stacking as well. And also itemization-wise, like he didn't rush for Aghanim Scepter, picked up Blink Dagger Lens. You talked about his cast range throughout the whole game, and then got the Ninja Gear as a tier 4 neutral item. Constant smoke,
yeah.
You cannot catch him, and also Glimmer Cape. there's some really nice stuff from him. He seems to be like, it's very hard to choose who's the best player on the team, but I feel like Kaori, he's definitely up there. He might be my favorite.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, Kaori is definitely fun to watch. Omar played really well too. Like, I think Omar in game number 1 with the Rubik, like, that's a fun guy to watch with a hero like that. He's very good at playing that flashy forward position. In this game, he really didn't need to do anything too crazy. You know, he definitely felt like he was in the right spots at all times, and those arrows were on point. I mean, you were really impressed with his Mirana play. And overall, I think Quest did a great job, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the team that we said it multiple times deserves to be at TI, and they're 2 BO3s away, so they need to beat the final boss. Are you gonna be the team eliminating Puppy from not going to every single TI? He's the last one, the last survivor, and the way they're playing, they could do so, but also Team Secret, they're starting to catch up. They're playing with each game that they play, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're going to have to go up against Secret tomorrow. But we've got one more series on the way. That's Luna Galaxy against Entity. The winner will go to TI, and then the loser of that series will be the final raid boss at the lower bracket for TI. It's going to be a good series, but it's coming up next, so you'll have to stay tuned. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a bit.